Good evening. I hope everyone was well. How was everyone's weekend? Is everyone looking forward to Christmas? I mean, Merry Christmas Eve to my English and American friends. I guess just Merry Christmas Eve to everyone else, those who celebrate on the 24th. I hope you're all having a wonderful evening and you're all prepared and ready to go. Lovely to see we've got a number of regulars in already, and I'm already having to scroll back further than I thought I would. Tyreek George is in. Tyreek George fan is in. Now, I don't know if you're. I'm not 100% certain if you're in the Discord or not, but you'll be very, very disappointed to know that we've got the poll running currently for which team we're going to play as over the next 3 days, and Osijek has only one vote last time I checked. That's just one vote for Ladislav Almasi's current team. It's disgraceful stuff. I even mentioned it was his team, and no one has picked up since, which is very, very disappointing. We also have Crudmo in. We have a slightly unwell Crudmo in, unfortunately. We have Johnny Trotter in. We have Adam kind of in. We'll be in properly in a little bit. Lovely to see you as well, Adam. We have FMGNG is here. Good evening, FMG. Good evening, Hungda Min. El Norby is in over on YouTube. Good evening, El Norby. How are you doing? How are you doing? As is Real Betis and Necrosis. Fabulous stuff to see. Merry Hatmas indeed. We've got a different hat. We've got the hat that I can only wear when my hair is down because otherwise it's too short. Yeah. You didn't need to know that. So there we go. It's really nice for you to stream during Christmas, says El Norby. Ultimately, I knew that I had no commitments, and I was trying to think of what I can do, what I would have needed when I used to struggle over the Christmas period, and that's kind of that element of normalcy. And if I can supply that, that'd be great. If it helps just one person, then it's done exactly what it set out to do, which is marvelous. So Johnny has updated me. It's currently a 3-way tie between Villa, Braga, and Lech Poznan. I don't know where that Fleminess came from there. So let me just pop that up over on the YouTube as well. So we are currently voting for which team I'm going to take control of over the next few days. I'm going to be doing streaming 12 hours with breaks for the next 3 days, completely separate to what we're doing here with IFK Mariehamn. There are 5 teams possibly. It could be AZ Alkmaar, could be Aston Villa, could be Braga, could be Lech Poznan. Probably isn't going to be Osijek. So if you want to head on over, you want to vote for which team you think would be most enjoyable, go ahead and do it. I will be creating a save file so people who want to play along can play along. They can do it for every day of the period. They could just choose to do one day. They won't be expected to complete a season in a day. So it's going to be good fun. Should hopefully be wonderful. If you guys are free and you want to pop in, by all means, please do. It's not exclusively for those that don't have any plans. Everyone is welcome. Anyway, let's head on over and we'll start off with a round of Guess the Player, as that has been redeemed right off the top. I see that we've got an RJ in. Good evening, RJ. How are you doing, sir? I hope you are well. Crodmo says 2 out of 3 of those are good shouts. And Johnny agrees, Braga or Lech Poznan would be cool. The Villa hate is real. The Villa hate is understandably real. I'll be honest, I'd prefer basically, like Aston Villa, obviously the team I support, the team I know, should be quite easy to get through that early setup. Trying to squeeze a single season in 12 hours. I mean, we know how quick I play. You've seen how quick I play. So that certainly has its advantages, but all the other leagues are much shorter seasons. So I'm quite in favour of not Villa. So let's take you through the rules of Guess the Player, just in case there's anyone here that doesn't know how this works. You're going to see 4 pictures, a snapshot of a player's profile in FM24. This is using the default database at the start of the game. So the player will be at the club that they start the game at. In real life, they might have moved, and that obviously won't be reflected. Something just to be aware of. Your job is to guess who the player is. The earlier you guess, the more points you get. The more points you get, you end up on that lovely little leaderboard down there. So nice and simple. Just throw out your guesses into the chat once they're there. I see we've got a Benny in. Benny, good evening. How are you? The transfer window is open for my club right now, and I want them to buy somebody, just anybody. I mean, is there a quality bar you're looking for, or is it just just show some activity so that you know that they're alive? $3 million, and they've not spent a dime of it. Oh dear. So RJ's good, tired up of a long day doing farm stuff. That does sound exhausting. I'm good. I am good. I've been at work earlier on today. Finished off tomorrow's video as well. Started doing all the prep for the streams as well. So it's been a very, very busy day. Our plan is to do this, then go to bed for a little bit, then wake up to watch the NFL, where I don't think Chris Norton-Walker's going to be in today. They're off doing some walking, but I'm up against Chris Norton-Walker in the semi-finals of our fantasy football matchup. He's got no players left. I've got one player left. I need 4 points to win, which would be an absolute travesty if it happens as well, because he has been the best player all season long and could be knocked out before the final. So Crudmo has guessed straight off the bat. He's going for 1980 Sheffield Wednesday midfielder Gary Shelton. Good guess. So Real Betis says my username is Real Betis, but I actually support Coritiba in Brazil. We basically need a whole new team in this transfer window. Oh my, so why is your username Real Betis, if you don't mind me asking? So RJ is 80 cows for milk products. My word. Hung Min's come in with Harry Maguire. Crudmo's gone in for Federico DiMarco. RG has just very, very politely put his thumbs up. NFL, it should be a good game tonight. We've got a lot of action coming up over there. You like their kits, so that's why you called Real Betis. Fair enough. Right, the guesses are coming in. We've got Josh Akimpong as well from the Chelsea fan. Let's see what we've got going on with the very, very first clue here. And see if I can remember who it was, because I prepared this on Saturday, and my memory doesn't last that long. I do think I know who it is. So Out Fabi needs 30 points from Josh Jacobs. Ooh. I mean, it's not beyond him, is it? Let's be fair. He can put up some big points. I just need 4 points from Jaden Reed, but there is also very much the risk that he's a kind of player who might only put up 2 points. Johnny Trotter has gone for Rangers, which is a fabulous guess. Tales of the Tape says Cara, always Cara. Crudmo's gone for Yuri. Crudmo's guessed a current player. He's gone for Yuri Tillmans. It's not Yuri Tillmans, but that's good. A good shout. Armenio says he's currently coaching Victoria Paulsen. I have to say it's really fun. Above all, I'm going to try to surprise internationals. That does sound fun. Nick Crosis has gone for Isco. Hung Min for Vitinho. Enzo Lafie. We've got Maka in there. We've got Piotr Zielinski. Mario Paslic. Bonaventura. Erdegaard. Some fabulous guesses in there. I mean, he is an advanced player. Cambia Mazzara. Some really good guesses. We're not there yet, though, unfortunately. Let's move on to the next one. So Calispera says Jason over on YouTube. Good evening, Jason. How are you, sir? How are you? So Tariq George says Maka or DePaul. Hung Min says Fred the Fenerbahce GOAT. Crudmo says DePaul as well. Necrosis goes for Bernardo Silva. Out Fabi goes for McGinn. There are so many 15s. Just one away from looking like one of the best players in the absolute game. Oscar's been guessed. Sal Solutions over on YouTube has gone for Enzo. Hung Min has gone for Milinkovic Savic. We've got Perisic. We've got Brandt. I can tell you, and I think quite possibly it's the traits that might have given it away. We do have a correct guess. This is a player who's in La Liga. It's a player in La Liga, so I think we know who it is now. It is indeed an Atletico Madrid player. Tyreek George fan, or Ladislav Almasi fan as it may be. I'll have to make sure I put this on. I'm saying this out loud, so I put the points to the right username. It is indeed Rodrigo de Paul. Fantastic, beating Crudmo to the punch by mere seconds. Absolutely fantastic work. So Jason as well, good to hear that. Are you all set for Christmas? Boom, that is fast. That was, I mean, the moment it came through, I will need to double check this back on the vids to see whether that guess came in before we changed over. It was boom. Crudmo says, oh what, don't I get something for that? I even guessed current players just to keep you happy. You were beaten to the punch, Crodmo. You've got to give a round of applause to Tyreek George fan. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Crablungs is in. Good evening, Crablungs. How are you doing, sir? How are you doing? You have arrived just in time for me to upset Crodmo. It was the fact that he plays central midfielder and winger. Indeed. I mean, like, there's the position's such a flexible player. But also, like, those traits as well, once they came through, it's very, very, very much a Rodrigo de Paul style player. So let's catch everyone up. And I see that RJ asks, is it to celebrate this weekend's results? It wasn't this weekend rather good for Crodmo? I mean, that makes it even more interesting. We have the fight off there for the points between the Chelsea fan and the Everton fan. Obviously, it finished 0-0 at the weekend, a fantastic result for Everton. And Chelsea fans can feel kind of okay as well, because with Liverpool destroying Tottenham, they were never going to finish the year top of the league anyway. So it's all good. It's all good. So let's see. I watch Argentina a lot. Him and McAllister often play wide. Yeah, I love Alexis McAllister. It's a shame he's at Liverpool, really. So Jason says, as long as there's a huge Christmas dinner to look forward to, I'm ready for it. That sounds good. We have an Adam in. Good evening, Adam. How are you, sir? I hope you're doing well. Whilst I'm actually on top of things. How about that? I'm not behind on chat. There needs to be more streams in the run up to Christmas when there's fewer people around. I can almost keep on top of things. So was it football or tennis? 3-6, really. A crazy game, wasn't it? A crazy game. Tales of the Tape says he's actually happy with a 3-6 loss. I mean, it's entertaining, isn't it? That's ultimately what it comes down to. It's kind of the way I feel about Villa under Emery, is we might lose games 4-1 or 5-0 every now and then, but it's because we're going for it. That I'm kind of cool with. So let's catch you up with where we are. At the end of the last stream, the league phase ended. The beginning league phase ended, and we missed out on a top 6 spot. So we are in the relegation group. That means we've got 5 games to avoid dropping even further down. There is just 4 points between us and 7th, and FC Hackett in 11th. So we can't really rest on our laurels too much. If we finish 7th, we go into the playoff system for a European spot. So it's not a case of all is lost either. There is certainly things to play for and things to aim towards, which means we can't necessarily play silly buggers, right? So rest assured, I'm going to play silly buggers. We are going to look to start to move towards what we're going to be doing for future seasons going forward, which is a formation that I have called Mariehamn, because I'm great at puns. It is very, very closely related to the kind of system you would see from Unai Emery. A little bit of Villarreal in there, a little bit of Villa last season in there, a little bit of Villa this season in there. So we defend in a 4-4-2, as with the shape there, but we have a wide midfielder that tucks inside. We may well look to get in an inverted fullback, so we've got someone that tucks inside on that side as well. We have our Morgan Rogers-esque player who's going to buzz around kind of outside the box, attack the box, kind of, be the chaos maker. So hopefully we can see something there. So in possession, we've kind of got some things the same as we're still going with a higher tempo. We've upped the passing directness a little bit. We're going to focus our play out wide. So Shambost here has been instructed to stay wide. Oh, he hasn't. He has now. Now Shambost has been instructed to stay wide. We have the winger on the other side. We'll look to try and work those channels when we can. We play wide. It's all about trying to focus out that way and then collapse inside. Low crosses, that will change depending on who we have up front, as will the striker role. In transition, we counter and we counter press. We roll it out to the defenders. Pretty standard stuff there. Out of possession, we have a much higher line, but a mid-block, and with only medium pressing. So like Villa do, we are kamikaze high, but we're not that much of a heavy pressing team. We'll trap outside. We'll invite crosses. we're going to need to, I haven't done this bit, we need to change the pressing instructions. So because we're trapping outside, we're going to be doing the same kind of things that I did with the, what's his name? German fella, fake name, Manchester. I can remember his fake name. Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel, that's it. We're going to do what we do with the Thomas Tuchel, which is we're going to show people onto their outside foot. We're going to put our pressure on the fullbacks. We're going to mark up players in advanced positions. So I should have remembered to have done this off stream. I didn't. But there we go. We've got that. We need to tag mark these guys here. Now, obviously, we don't know. Sometimes we'll play against wingbacks. Sometimes we'll play against fullbacks, which is why we set all these positions here. Trigger press there. We trigger press on the centre backs as well, but we tackle easy. So the idea is just to kind of encourage the players to engage the centre backs and start the pressing off from there. That's kind of going to be the idea. What we're going to be playing with, we're going to see how it gets on in these final 5 games, plus the cup as well. We've got a semi-final in the cup coming up against HJK. It's away from home. We've got an okay record against HJK, but they did knock us out last year. If we win the cup, we get into Europe as well, which, that's another potential route for us. So Johnny Trotter says 4-4 funking 2. 4-4 funking 2 indeed. Hung Min says Fiorentina's trolling De Gea, so I guess that means they've conceded a third. Oh, I like that. I used that once or something similar. So there will be quite a bit of flexibility. We might have Olawale playing up front, and they'll play as an advanced forward, again being instructed to stay wider. We might look at having changing this into a 4-1-4-1 where we switch the anchor into the middle, we push the playmaker up and we drop the shadow striker down and be a central midfielder attack. Maybe when we've got a lead and we want to protect it. So we are going to kind of play around a bit. I've got Lundberg as a pressing forward with hold position. Might well have him as a poacher instead. I kind of want that poacher who's going to stay in the box kind of thing, but I want them to be a little bit more involved in build-up than the poacher normally does. So we'll probably be playing around with that quite a lot. And that kind of excludes the deep line forward because that moves into channels, which is what I don't necessarily want. So I like the shadow striker. Shadow strikers are fun, aren't they? It's not hoofball, says Hung Min. It's not hoofball. No, you're unlikely to get much hoofball from me, I'm afraid. So Ladislav, our massive fan, says during yesterday's stream, you were hesitant to sign Gorna Dorth and Shotard as starting DMs due to age. Is there like an experience factor in FM? So with the way I play and the lack of great detail for attributes, generally speaking, older players have better development of mental attributes. And because I can't tell that distinction, I'm going to, generally speaking, value experience over youth. If young players really, really stand out, and I mean like head and shoulders above the competition they're against, absolutely go for it. But when we were looking at essentially a United team that's a bit in disarray, we kind of want to make sure that we have the right profile to keep them ticking over. Now, there was one other bit of news that we need to catch up on. So I've fast forwarded until the next game, like always, and what that means is we've got some youth candidates through. We have 3 top talents apparently. Jesper Soderman, we've got another young goalkeeper coming through. Low determination, which is a bit of a shame, but he is really, really good at rushing out. Good agility as well. Agility is the thing that I really, really like in a keeper. Like, a lot more work needs to be done for him to be serviceable. This isn't like Per Edlund, where we could potentially see him as a backup straight away. But yeah, seems okay. Hydrate. All you've got to do, Quadmo, is press the little thing at the bottom. It does the thing, and then I get the activity feed. Yeah, like that. Oh, and now oh no, we're going to be waterboarding me again, aren't we? Yep, here comes the waterboarding. Soda man, hydrate. I see. I'm sorry for being slow. Indeed. So Soda Man is a good name. Goes really well with Slay Man as well. I love the fact we've got nicknames for players just naturally developing. So Joachim Hansen is a right winger who's fairly loyal. Decent acceleration and pace. Acceleration is considered as his strongest attribute, which is cool. Good technique. Again, not really looking like he's ready to... Well, I say not really looking like he's ready to break into the first team. He's probably as good as Daniel Enquist, and Enquist has worked out all right for us. And then we've got another right winger, which is Mikko Heiskanen. He can cross. We might actually have a player who knows how to cross. So, again, good pace, good determination. Dwells on ball, which we'll probably look to train out of him. Driven personality. Yeah, I think there's some promise there, which is quite cool. Chug, indeed. Bop, RJ. Bop. Ooh up, did it up. So, Hungdamin says, crank the Soda Man, boys. Andrew asks, what PC build do you have, by the way? Oh, I don't know. It's a 3060 Ti. It's 32 gig RAM. I think it's actually a Ryzen processor. I was looking at this the other day, so I think it's a Ryzen 5 something or other, 5600. It's what it is and it works. That's about as much as I know, I'm afraid. So Tatsugiri is in. Good evening, Tatsugiri. How are you? I'm good. Sorry, late food shopping. The best part of Christmas. Let's be frank. So Ladislav Almasi describes them as the Finnish Dwight McNeil. Quite fair. Mohammed is the next. We have a poacher, a 5'9" poacher called Mohammed. A good name in there. Decent acceleration, decent finishing. I probably want to see a lot more from him though, generally speaking. Get the off the ball up and that's okay. I would prefer, generally speaking, my strikers to have a bit more physicality about them, but yeah, maybe something there with Mohammed. We've got Morten Nilsson, an unambitious ball wing midfielder with fabulous hair, fabulous big hair. Doesn't really have anything technically. Good decision making, which is great. Doesn't really have much going on like technically at the moment though, which I think, so he's probably a long way off if he's ever going to make it. Teddy Person is unambitious, which is understandable because if you were some kind of mixed, I assume a Teddy Person is a bit like a mermaid, half Teddy, half person. Here's a Mazzala that can pass, does have good technique, got some good acceleration and stamina. I think that if we can maybe get someone to mentor him to become a more favourable personality, there's something that we could probably work with there. And then the last one I think was worth mentioning was, no, there's more after this. Tommy Moberg, good endurance. That's cool. Good aggression, good decisions. Spirited personality. I think he should be all right as well. Momo is what we should call him. We should call him Momo. That'd be amazing. Hansen, of course. Right, yes, that's the Mbop. I see. Yes. Right. Totally agree, says Tatsugiri. Food is what I enjoy about Christmas. It is the best part of it. No doubt. Andrew says, just asking because I just ordered my first custom build. Finally not playing on a 10th Gen i3 anymore. Oh, fantastic, Andrew. It'll be night and day. You'll soon forget the horrors of playing on an old machine. David Hassan here is a 6-foot light-hearted centre back. He can jump, he can tackle. I think we can probably work with that. Rickard Bjorkland. He's the model citizen. That's the guy that I wanted to keep an eye on. A 6'4" advanced forward, apparently. He can jump. He's got acceleration, good work rate. Absolutely shocking off the ball, which is a bit of a concern. But I think, maybe we've got some there. And then, as someone has pointed out already, we've got Angel Libreros. What a name. Good flipping evening to you, says Adam. Not a full week off for Christmas, but done until Friday now. Honey and Lemon doing a lot of the heavy lifting today. Oh, no, not another one with man flu. Awful timing. Johnny Trotter says Teddy Person was a character in BoJack Horseman. No, was it? I've gotta confess, I've never seen BoJack Horseman other than like little clips here and there. I know. Yeah, Angel Liberalis looks a bit wank. Really slow. Can jump but can't head. Got aggression. Really, really poor technically. I think he's got a lot of work to do if he's ever going to make the grade. Sadly. Casper Johnson is fickle centre-back. 6'5", brave, can jump, can tackle. Maybe we'll see. Top or bottom? Teddy Butt and Human Head, or Human Head and Teddy Butt? Teddy Butt would be a pretty bad thing to have. I mean, that's what colostomy bags are for, aren't they? So I suppose that's not the worst thing in the world. Then Jacob Magnuson, another wonderfully hirsute gentleman, temperamental again, advanced playmaker that can't pass, doesn't have great technique, can't dribble, doesn't have great vision or flair. I don't think he's going to make the grade. So that's our lot. There's the really, really rubbish ones that Tommy Momotaro Moberg. I do like it. So could be a rapper. I can see that. Teddy Buttons, I think, was in that. Teddy Buttons is an amazing name. Delaney, that Magnuson. Is that just because of the hair? Just because of the hair? It's the Olawale song ready. It isn't, because I have completely overstretched myself already since the last stream. But yes, it will be for next season. The other updates I need to give you is Arvid Lundberg has said that he's going to leave. So his contract doesn't expire until next season. Maybe if we get European football, he might change his mind. But that's a little bit of a bugger. Pedro Machado has also said the same. So he wants to leave as well. Contract expires in just over a year as well. We're probably going to sell him anyway. That was absolutely fine. Andrew says, I think I'll start a new save when it comes. Thinking of the 2nd or 3rd division in Netherlands, Belgium or Austria. Any thoughts? I'm a big fan of Netherlands. I like the slightly shorter seasons. I think that once you get yourself up to the Eredivisie, that there's quite a big gap between the top 3, top 4-ish, and the rest of the teams, and so establishing yourself in the Eredivisie is relatively easy, but then taking it on to the next step from there is quite a challenge, and I think that's always quite fun. So you love Akereke's picture. So do I, man. Like, he's got to stay. Talking about contracts, we've got both Fonsel and Akereke, whose contract ends next season. And realistically, I'm thinking that we keep Akereke purely because, like, he just looks so damn cool. That's the main thing. I've created some pictures for Jimmy Slayman and for Igor Lofgren, our gentle giant, our 6'5" hulking man, and our boy with curtains. We finally got getting through doing it with players who are new gens as well. Shall we head into the first game? I've waffled on for half an hour and we haven't even played a game yet. So this is our lineup. We're playing against VPS, the team bottom of the league. We have a bad history of playing against teams worse than us, and they are definitely worse than us. So this should go well. I'm sure it will go swimmingly well. I'm going to say play your natural game, despite the fact that they're now playing an entirely new formation and tactical system they haven't played before. I'm sure that won't confuse them whatsoever. What was that? Tell Andrew on YouTube, Helmond Sport in Netherlands managed them in 2020. And Helmond Sport have the wonderful Fivos Botos. Who the fuck is Fivos Botos? Here's a free kick for VPS, only 5 minutes in, away from home. Oh, just over, clips the netting in the top. Lofgren looks like Louis Litt from Suits. That's fair. You will almost certainly not guess which person I took a picture of and drew over the top of for Lofgren. It wasn't that actor. Let us witness the 4-4 Emery 2. Indeed. RJ's recommending La Louvière in Belgium. That's an interesting suggestion. Why would you recommend them? Why? Early signs, it's not going well. No shots of any real note. We've had the better quality chances. That counts for something, right? Vivos Bottas played for AEK Athens. He did indeed. But I believe that he starts the game at Helmand Sport. He hadn't transferred in the save because we had. Yeah, he must have done because we started with real world mode for the Pauk series. First Vienna in Austria is being recommended as well. The oldest club in the country. Have to knock off the big Vienna sides and Salzburg, of course. That does sound like a good suggestion. And we have a guest the player redeemed by necrosis. Marvellous. We'll do that probably, if we do that after the first break, which will be about 20 minutes away. Is that okay with you, Nick? So let's have a look here. Oh. Has there been so few passes that I can't see? Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. There we go, passes. So we're getting in here. We've got Lundberg's not really seeing much. The ball, Shambos there. KOK's pushing. So we've got, there are players that are seeing more of it. We've got reasonable distribution, but we're very much stuck in our own half. BPS are holding onto the ball quite deep as well. Where are things breaking down? Olawale's not been great with the ball. Neither has Shambos. Cool. Okie dokie. I wouldn't say that our shooting has not been good enough. We just haven't shot. Hands on hips. Dig in, guys. So, I don't want him moving into channels. Attacker moves into channels as well, doesn't he? So we'll move him to target forward. We'll just try that for the time being. Now, Shambos isn't the quickest of players. I think he's got, he's not got great acceleration. So, what I'm thinking we do here is we just swap these guys round. Jala on the yellow card. We can ask him to ease off tackles. And we'll have Olawale in that role behind the striker. If we need to look to stretch play a little bit more, we'll put him up as a pressing forward on attack and look to bring one of the subs on if we're getting less joy out of Lundberg in the second half. Maybe give it about 10-15 minutes. And so Lundberg has had a shot. That's our first shot on target, so that's something. Hey, we've got a highlight. I mean, it might be a highlight for VPS, but it's a highlight after an awful first half. Olawale wins the header. Here's Shambos now playing out wide, pushes down the flanks, gets the cross in. Lundberg at the far post, gets there. Unfortunately, he heads it over. It would have taken a lot for him to get the momentum there. Got a goal kick, though. VPS send it long. Here's Olawale with a poor touch. Dahlstrom recovers. Wheaton now. Lays it out to Savalainen, into Dahlstrom. Dahlstrom looking to feed Ajala, who was standing completely still, not really running for the ball anyway. So we'll be coming off in a second. And here, VPS, chance just to play through the press. Here's Havaranen now. Feeds Marcos. Marcos absolutely acres of space. That is shocking. Shocking defending. Absolutely no effort whatsoever to close down Marcos. Oh. This is a system that I know works as well. This is really shambolic. Oof. Ouch indeed. Droll Blooder, thank you very much for the follow. Good timing. You've arrived just for us to defend really badly. I hope you're doing well anyway. Do let us know who you... Firstly, if you're comfortable chatting, let us know who you support in the chat, who you're playing with in FM. Love to hear from you. But there is zero obligation what to do whatsoever. We are currently in Finland with IFK Mariehamn. After a great 4th place finish last season in European qualification, it's all gone a little bit south this season. We're only in season 2 on this point, so KOK is having a little bit of a struggle. We'll bring on Fonsel. Ajala's yellow card and his lack of movement means we're going to bring on Rockman. Rockman's only just returned from that injury that he sustained during the first game of our last stream. After we identified Rockman as our solution at striker whilst Olawale was injured, and he got injured in the very first game. He is now back. So we're going to go with what we've done in the past, which is going shorter seems to sometimes help. Shorter, but we're going to go attacking. Fonsel's okay. Rockman is apprehensive, so let's say no pressure. He's still apprehensive. Cool. At least we are carrying on in the same vein that we have done in the past, which is one, we make substitutions or we make changes and we stop creating chances altogether. And two is that we concede basically every opportunity that there is. Right, Larson is coming on. We are now going to make him an inverted winger. We're going to take the hold position off, so he can come on that way. Rockman can do the stay wider stuff on the other side, which we don't need him to stay wider. We've got a winger on that side. So we'll ask him to... I don't need someone to stay wider. I've got Enquist out there. That's fine. Do we put him up front? We put him up front there. He's white-footed, so we're going to play him off that side there. We're going to play Lundberg as a poacher now. And I trust you to make the difference. Let's see if we can actually generate a chance. Completely different system, completely different formation. And we still can't ever seem to do anything in the second half. I have no idea what on earth is going on. Dahlstrom is tiring. On comes there. Did I not have Slayman on the bench? 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's a mistake as well. Alright, into injury time. Can we rescue it in the last moments? Cross comes in. Rockman can't challenge for it, but it gets to Juhi. Juhi plays it out to Savalainen. Across to Wrighton. Wrighton has space. He feeds it forwards. Rockman can't quite get there. Martin gathers. It's now nice and safe. They've just got to hold on for 2 more minutes. He sends it long. Marcos gets his head to the ball. Enquist, though, will be able to recover. Here we go. Plays it into Fonsell. Fonsell plays it through to Larson. Larson, good touch. Plays it into Lundberg. We've got some players over. Can Olawale get past his man? He can't, but Savalainen has the ball now. We've got to do something from here. We can indeed. It's Arvid Lundberg. Arvid Lundberg to rescue a point.
He's the man in the box. Arvid Lundberg.
Well, there we go. We have still scored under our XG. We have still conceded over our XG against. Good to know. Nothing has changed. We can feel a little bit lucky to come away with a point there. You were not good enough. Got to be completely and utterly frank with them there. So let's cover and see what we've got going on with the chat. I do apologise. I can't. It's probably a little bit daft for me to not pay attention to chat during the games, because I'm not really doing anything that helps results whilst I am paying attention to the games. But so we have Nicholas Frutos is the DOF at Louvière. Interesting. Crodmo seconds the shout for first Vienna. Necrosis is happy with that with the guest the player, which is marvellous. Thank you. RJ says also because I live 20 kilometres from that. That makes more sense. Necrosis says go ahead Eagles is also a great shout. Most amazing smaller stadium in the Netherlands. Interesting. Hung De Min describes our defending like Man United. Mariehamn, the anti-football god. Indeed. Reject everything from tiki-taka to hoofball. Apart from last season. The second half of last season where they were incredible. Crodmo out. Crodmo out indeed. Hung De Min says, unlike my barrier and said team.
It's not the statistics! You tell me! How do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
On a needle. Hank the Tank, thank you so much. Resubscribed for 6 months at Tier 1. They've been subscribed for 3 months total. What an absolute legend. Jason says, I always suggest managing in Greece. Pastianina, Iraklis, Salonika, Larissa and Panionis are clubs that are currently struggling in real life. but in my teens they were traditional top clubs. Fabulous suggestions. Ladislav says, I've been sacked by Crawley. Libero in League One was not good. Any save suggestions? Looking for a team that I could challenge, win the UCL within 10 years. Well, you're a Chelsea fan, so maybe Chelsea, because by the end of that 10 years, like some of your players' contracts might have eventually expired. Maybe not. Jason says, by the way, the clubs I support in real life are AEK Athens, Liverpool, Apoel Nicosia, and Barcelona and Torino. Some fabulous teams in there, apart from AEK. Boo. But yeah, no, that's all good. It's all good. All good. So let's see. Hank did say hello. I do apologise. You can see how I've been getting on with the catching up with chat, Hank. I've now seen it. Hello, how are you? I hope you're having a lovely evening. You all set for Christmas?
It's not the statistics. It's not the statistics. You tell me. How do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
My word. Thank you so much, Ladislav Almasi. You are an absolute gentleman. Mika over on YouTube says, wait, this song was way too cool. Got to love a little bit of Alice in Chains. So Atlanta's been recommended as a suggestion for you, Ladislav. I think that sounds like a good shout. Sherland has failed us. No good recommendation this year. How are we supposed to win? Exactly. It is all his fault. And actually, I should be talking about that.
It's not the statistics. You tell me. How do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
Oh my. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, Adam gifted a subscription to...
It's not the statistics. You tell me. How do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
So, amazing from Adam. A whole host of gift subscriptions to Moriarty, Mr. X Bliss, to Ryan Laugh My Arse Off 1, Scarfius. And then something else happened and Valorant gifted a subscription to Stefano Zoolander. And I'm not really sure, there's a big icon coming up. I don't know what's going on, but well, hey, thank you, Valorant. Yeah, what the fuck? Indeed, what the fuck is happening? Wind Tunnel, Valorant, it's not the statistics. Valorant are dishing out a free gift sub for every 5 subs, apparently. Had to give it a try. Interesting. Will that get me to play their game? No. I can't do reaction speed. We've certainly established that. I've literally no idea what's going on here. That's understandable. All you need to know, Crablugs, is it's not the statistics. Welcome to a normal Musterman stream. That is fair. I mean, we have pretty much hit all the beats. The only thing we haven't had in a normal Musterman stream yet is us conceding a penalty. So you know what's going to happen in this game coming up right now, because we're about to play the cup final. After early signs are maybe that things aren't so good, we're going to go with a poacher from the off. He was in the box. He was there doing the things that I wanted him to do. We are going to give Adam Larson the run out there. Shambos then becomes the wide midfielder. He is more of a traditional midfielder than that there. Oh, pardon me. Slayman should have been on the bench. And he will be. Let's get the Slayman on the bench. Ready for our next game. So I want my team to buy a freaking central defender, says.
It's not the statistics. You tell me. How do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
My word, out Farby, you absolute gentleman. Gift subscription to Sim Gaming, to James Moamba, Real Betties, Black Rose 185, and to Massive John. That means Valorant has been activated again. On a needle. Incredible stuff. Right, RJ was saying, I want my team to buy a freaking central defender. Simic is a good future centre-back, but Zanka is horrible. Vertonghen forever injured and young players not ready. I mean, you've got to expect Vertonghen to be always injured at his age. And there's a reason why Jorgensen was sold by Brentford, let's be fair. He wasn't a bad defender in his prime, but I mean, he wasn't a good defender in his prime either. We'll let the director of football do the honours. Any changes there? No, all players we've looked at before, so that seems good. That's not the statistics. And the celebration song after the win. The celebration song after the win is what we really need, isn't it? That's what we really need tonight. On a needle indeed. My word, you guys are very, very kind. I don't understand what hype trains are, but I am a big fan. I've got loads of things bouncing on the screen. I can't even tell what those things are that are bouncing. Azanka is the last gift from Fredberg before leaving. Gift is a very, very polite word for it. Very, very polite word for it. Right. I think we're kind of happy with that. Do we? We drop down to balanced as we're away from home. Let's see. Who's the person? Oh, right, that's Foncel. Yep, that's okay. Just see if we can control things a little bit. Pro streamer indeed. I understand absolutely nothing about what's going on. It's incredible stuff. Nobody is expecting anything from us. I'm going to fill them with confidence by telling them that everyone thinks you're losers. You're all losers, Mariehamn. You are all losers. Here we go. I'm going to turn the highlights up a level as well, because it is very, very hard to kind of see what's actually going on in the game on just key highlights. But we can see us just sending it long there. Here's Keskinen. Got loads of space to run into. We eventually step out. He runs past Stenquist quite easily. Beautiful exchange. Keskinen to make it 1-0. 3 minutes in. It's a lovely exchange on the wing, but we were very, very passive. And that might be the mid-route of pressing intensity. Now, this really shouldn't be pressing intensity related in your own defensive third. Keskinen, though, with the momentum, carries the ball, had the momentum, slow to come out, but he had that momentum, and that's 1-0. A lovely, lovely exchange. Beautiful, beautiful finish. And here we go again. Yiltova pushes past Shambos with ease. Yiltova gets the cross into the far post. We managed to head away the first part, but here's Bande. Bande to make it 2-0. Reitinen gets his head to the ball. Now Olawale clears it, but they can still come towards us. They don't, though. They don't. So, was that not a shot from Bande? Apparently that wasn't a shot from Bande. Interesting. And let's see,
It's not the statistics! You tell me! How do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
Oh, ACAB Europe, you absolute gentleman. That's gift subscriptions to Zappala Bionico, to Plast 2010, to Eki Patang Zoo Boing, to Active Libero, and to DX Pig. Absolutely incredible. Incredible stuff. And absolute credit as well to Eki Patang Zoo Boing. Are you Knights of Knee from YouTube, or is that just another Monty Python reference in there? That is incredible stuff. And thank you, Valorant. It doesn't tell me who it's gifted it to, so I can't shout you out, I'm afraid. Right, now let's, like, in terms of positions, we seem to be okay. We're doing that, but we're just not creating chances. XG story looks really, really poor for us. There we go. We're 50-50 on possession. We're struggling to move the ball forwards. We are on balanced mentality. That might have something to do with it. Here we come. Last possible highlight of the half. And it's going to be HJK once again. Here's Yiltova. Yiltova is getting down that left-hand side so easily. Kanalopoulos, easy save for Schultz. Easy save for Schultz. Shambost is a shambolic defender. Being pushed past just with absolute ease. I'm disappointed. I am very, very disappointed. Like Larson, we had chances with Larson over on the left. Haven't seen anything of we haven't seen any highlights of our own players, so we can't really judge on that. But Shambost is looking like a bad signing. I have to say, it's just a shame. It's a shame. Maybe a candidate. See if we can cash in on him over the winter. Okay, we need to push the ball forwards. They're doing that whole seem to play better with shorter passing thing, so we'll see if that makes any difference. Whoa, steady on now, says Adam. Look, do you want me to ignore his performances? Do you want me to pretend he's good? You wouldn't want me to lie to you, would you? You wouldn't want me to lie to you. Right, is this going to be an actual highlight from kickoff? We're only on extended, so no, it's not. It's not going to be that at all. And now we've got to tell you to ease off tackles. Oh, don't think I meant to have my defenders on tackle harder. Okay, that's something to check on as well. We've had some shots. They've all been quite poor from the looks of things. Let's just have a look here. For them to be low, are they all from outside the box? Pretty much. Yeah, final third passes seems to be an issue as well. We are up against the 3-4-3, so it is going to be quite difficult to make inroads centrally, but we're trying to play wide. So right, shouldn't we actually do okay out of this situation? We've got the width on that side. We've got the width on that side. Because we have this player cutting in and this player isn't pushing forwards, we are going to push Olawale out onto that side as an advance forwards. So we've got a bit more support for Rockman out on the right. We're also going to bring on Jimmy Slayman. We've got an advance forward up front now, so we can play him as a deep line forward, see how that goes. Haven't seen much from Dahlstrom either, so I'm going to just change him to a defensive midfielder support. He's played well as a defensive midfielder support. Oh, marvellous. Oh, marvellous. We are about to... Okay. Everyone is subscribed. We can carry on through the breaks that are about to start. Ad snoozed automatically. Interesting. Oh, that's cool.
It's not the statistics.
I have no idea how that happens.
You tell me. How do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
Oh, Johnny Trotter, an absolute gentleman as well. That's for Dantiago 93. Then there's Valorant 1 as well, so we're going to hear it twice. I'm starting to work out how this works, right?
Balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle.
Dantiago 93, IG 656, Dealer Lamo, never beaten, Drool Blooder.
It's not the statistics. You tell me. How do you measure
as
somebody
well,
that
you
could balance a
gentleman.
balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
On a needle. It's a subscription to the tie-by thigh. The tie-by thigh? I definitely got your wrong name, the tie-by thigh, but that's what we're going with. And for 4N71574R, thank you very much for the follow. I hope you're doing well. My word. If there are ads happening or not, I'm not really sure what on earth is going on. I do apologise, but you should all now be subscribed, so no one should get any ads if there are any going on. Couple of chances for HJK here. I know that I've seen highlights in this half, but I haven't been paying attention at all. I probably do need to at some point. We are losing. This is a good chance for us to get into Europe if we can overcome HJK. Right, Dahlstrom's now been booked. He's tired. On comes Juhi. Rockman's been booked as well. He only came on at half time. Ugh. Right, Olawale's been shit. Larsson's been shit. Rockman's been shit. Larsson can come off. That will be Jala there. We might as well just move it to a more traditional 4-4-2. We can't really... We've at least had some chances with shorter passing. Let's see, though. To mix the crosses, we've got... Slayman isn't exactly tall, but Olawale is 6 foot. We are going to distribute to target man. We're going to push this up. Let's see if we can just get something in these last few moments. We can do this. We can definitely do this. I have 0 chance of catching up on chat, I have a feeling. So if you have said something and I've missed it, please do mention it again. So I do apologise. We have there is a highlight starting in HJK's half, but they are able to move it out to the left-hand side with absolute ease, no pressure on them whatsoever. Kanalopoulos on the ball here, plays it to Helm. how many acres of space. You can see how we increased the pressing intensity and the line of engagement. And that has resulted in us not engaging. Kanalopoulos plays it to Keskinen. Keskinen out wide to Kaiser. Kaiser back inside to Kanalopoulos. There was absolutely no effort whatsoever here to do anything at all. My word, boys. Defend. Defend. Win the ball. This is a cup game. It matters. It matters. And here we are. We are 2 minutes over the allotted 5 minutes injury time. We are out of the cup once again to HJK. Away from home. It was an early goal from Topi Keskinen. We weren't awful, even if the highlights weren't showing. We had that one chance that I remember. That said, I wasn't watching half of the second half, so I don't know. I'm not happy with you guys. Yeah, be demotivated, Adam Larson. You have been awful, Adam Larson. You should be ashamed of yourself,
You
Adam
tell
Larson.
me, how do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
An Adam that shouldn't be ashamed of himself, however, is Adam on the Break FM, because he's just gifted a subscription to Andrew KM and to Ludo. Incredible, incredible stuff. 442 Emery is not working, says Hungderman. I disagree. We haven't been against HJK. I think it can work, more specifically. I know it can work because it's worked in various other situations, but we just might need to tweak it a bit more. That is the moment. The ad is going to start now, it says. So we'll be back where we'll play a round of Guess the Player that was redeemed by Necrosis a little bit earlier. So I'll see you guys in about 3-4 minutes. Right, I am back before the ad break is over. As I've mentioned before, I'm trying to catch up a little bit on the chat as much as I possibly can. Obviously, I take the breaks because if I sit still or sit in one space for 2 hours, that's not going to be any good. So they are important for me just to stand up and stretch my legs, because I'm old and fat and I will never move again if I don't keep my legs moving. I'm like a shark, just a really, really shit shark. So I'm afraid to say I'm not going to be shaving the beard. The beard stays forever. It is my comfort beard. As I've said, it's like a blanket. I'm glad to see that our RJ knows what it's about. That's exactly it. Look, I'm sorry. Sir Bamson over on YouTube did inform me that HJK is pronounced Hujiko. So that was Hujiko who beat us yet again in the cup. The bastards. The absolute bastards. Eki Patangzu Boing has popped in to say thank you for the gift sub. We are massive fans of your name and the reference. Can't be much longer, unfortunately. That is unfortunately a limitation. You should count to 3, no more, no less. I see a knee. Right, there we go. We demand a recount. Level 6 equals beard goes. I didn't agree to that. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I appreciate, I love you all. But this is my comfort beard. We are not removing my comfort, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. Oh, look at that. Okay, there's a hype chest appearing on my screen. What on earth does that mean? We've got a hype deer. I have no idea what that means. We have a hype deer. Choo choo. I'm an elephant and I never forget, says Hank. Fair. Tut. Oh dear. Let's play a round of Guess the Player. So again, if there's anyone who's new and wasn't here for it earlier or previously, I'll explain the rules. You're going to see 4 pictures, 4 snapshots from a player's profile in FM24. This is at the beginning of the game of FM24 on the default database, so that players might be at clubs when they started the game. They might have moved in real life and they won't be at their new club. Just keep that in mind. You will see those pictures one after a time. Your job is to guess who the player is. Really straightforward. The earlier you guess, the more points you get. The more points you get, you end up on that lovely little scoreboard down below. We keep one running for the week. We keep one running for all time as well. So let's head on in and see what we've got going on for the very first clue. We have a left-footed advanced forward. A 4-star advanced forward. Interesting. Now, I could remember who we had last time out. Can I remember who we've got here? Do I remember? I don't remember who this is. I shall certainly remember once we get to it actually being revealed, that's for sure. So is it Kevin Phillips? I know for certain it's not Kevin Phillips. Is it Lukaku? Is it Vlahovic or Rashford? Tales of the Tapes has recommended Rick Derringer's Rock and Roll Huyiku. See where we're going there. We've got Hugo Duro being guessed. We've got Moise Keane, Daka, Thierry Barry. Thierry Barry is a quality player. I love Thierry Barry. It's not Thierry Barry, but he is a quality player. Depay has been guessed. Son. Yigit over on YouTube has gone for Haaland. Or maybe Hoyland. I might have been. It was Haaland, so he's gone for Haaland. Inorbi's gone for Hoyland. Vardy, Marcus Thuram, Karam Kanate, Dominic Solanke. They're all fantastic guesses. I'm pretty certain they're all wrong. So, as I said, I can't actually remember 100% who it is, but I'm sure once the right name is mentioned, I will. But that does mean I can't give you any clues there. So Quadmo has said Beppe Signori, and that is probably the hint to move on to the next one. We have a big boy, a left-footed big boy, 6'2", with absolutely no traits whatsoever. And whilst you go through and you rattle through the guesses, I'm going to look up who the answer is. Cosmic Genius, thank you very much for the follow. I hope you're doing well. Right now, we're in the middle of playing a game of Guess the Player. Rules are pretty simple. Guess who the player is from the clues that are coming up on stream. And I see you're already involved there. Gone for Vardy. You've gone for Lukaku. We've not got there yet so far. It's not Taremi, not Lautaro. It's not Ladislav Almasi fan. It's not Andy Carroll or Moreno or Jackson or Schick or Wanyi. We've got 4-goal Galazzo, Patty Schick. It's not Victor Boniface or Kramaric or Heskey or Erling Haaland or Tel Jurassi. I think we need to find out what league this player plays in. Does that help though? Does that actually help? We've got guesses of Malpai, of Kane, of Romario, of Milik, of Harry Maguire. We can tell we've already wasted through all the left-footed strikers people can think of. Dembele, says Hank. But the question is what Premiership is this? So Kyugu Furuhashi has been guessed. Kyugu Furuhashi is a good guess. It's not right, but we are along the right lines. Scottish Premiership indeed. Is it Bamford? Is it Federico Di Marco? Is it Jobe Bellingham? Now the question is how well do people know their Scottish strikers? It's not Furuhashi, unfortunately. Sam Dessers is a great guess. It's not Sam Dessers. It's not my... I'm guessing that was Maeda, even, Tatsugiri. It's not Maeda. It's not Peter Lovenkrands. It's not Adam Ida. It's not John McGinn's brother, Paul McGinn. Martin Adam. It's not. It's got to be Dessers. They're saying it's not Dessers. It's not Dessers, unfortunately. It's not Ida. It's not Ida. Is it Michovsky? Is it Michovsky? Now, I could be a real bastard here and say it's not Michovsky, but I know who you mean. I know that you are going for Bojan Miovski. It is indeed Bojan Miovski, who's just been signed by Girona. A fantastic striker for Aberdeen. Yep, he leaves Aberdeen. They somehow get even better. Absolutely quality player brought in to replace the outgoing Artem Dovbyk. And he's been, yeah. So we had some other great guesses in there. Gordon Jury, Roque Santa Cruz. Lawrence Shankland was that reasonable guess there. Vaclav Cherny. Never heard of him, says Adam. Who says Ladislav Almasi? You clearly, pardon me, need to start watching some Scottish football. Well, not anymore. You now need to watch some Spanish football. He's now at Girona. A quality player. But that is some fabulous points going the way of ACAB Europe, beating Crab Lungs just to the punch. Spelled his name wrong. I knew who you meant. That was enough. Both strikers struggle to replace Dovbyk. Anyone would struggle to replace Dovbyk, let's be fair. Yigit has never heard of him either. You need to be watching some La Liga, guys. You need to watch some La Liga. Right. I think we're a little bit warmed up now tonight, aren't we? I hope we're feeling a little bit warmed up tonight, because we've also had an Only Connect redeemed by Outfarby. So let's play a round of Only Connect. And by the way, welcome in Marina Luan. Thank you very much for the follow. You have arrived just in time to hear the rules, which is quite handy. So you're going to see 4 pictures of players. You're going to see those pictures one after another. There is a common connection between all 4 of those players, and your job is to guess what that connection is. Now, the pictures won't tell you the name of the player, so if you know who it is, pop it in chat so that everyone can kind of have a knowledge of what they're working with. It might help just fire up some of those thoughts. We have some guesses already coming in. We have that they all represent the 4 elements in Avatar: The Last Airbender. They all prefer nut roast to the traditional roast turkey on Christmas Day. They all have a feud with Jamie Vardy. They've all assisted Patrick Schick goals in the last 5 seasons. They are some fine guesses. Does this person satisfy any of those criteria? Does he look like the kind of man that prefers a nut roast? Does he represent an element in Avatar: The Last Airbender? Okay, it's not Friday. I have a chance, says RJ. I did warn you guys beforehand that I think we're warmed up, so this might be a tricky one. But Hank has already pointed out it is indeed Rafael Guerrero. Do we know anything about Rafael Guerrero? Crudmo says they're all Knights of the Round Table in Monty Python's Holy Grail. Quite famously, Rafael was one of them. So they played for Bayern and Borussia Dortmund as the connection. That's a good suggestion. Real Betis has gone for never played in the country they represent. Another fine guess as well. I think that's wrong, by the way, Real Betis. But I think that you have a bit of knowledge there that might help you. So they all left with rival clubs on a free transfer, which is a great guess. It's not right, unfortunately. Played on both fullback positions. Doesn't speak Portuguese. It's some good guess. They're all named after Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There will definitely be a future round where that is the link. All Portuguese players without a trophy in their career. That's a fair sound. Doesn't speak Latin. They share a name with wrestlers. I know nothing about wrestlers, I'm afraid, tale of the tape. So that's a wonderful, wonderful guess. It's not that, but yeah, that could be an interesting one to do. So they all translate to warrior. Interesting. All never played in the country they represent internationally. It's not either. They prefer a walnut roll instead of a poppy seed roll. I think he does. Let's move on to the next clue. See if that helps at all. So there are some other guesses. They are French, says RJ. That's not the clue, but I mean, Guerrero certainly did spend time in France. They've all played alongside the great Yann Coutu. That would be fine with it. They played for a different national team at senior and youth level. A fine guess. They are all named after Ninja Turtles again coming in. They played in Porto, both French and Portuguese, dual nationalities, all named after great scientists. So Adam has correctly identified that is Hannibal. RJ has said he was born in France even. Okay, I mean, so there may be, you may be onto something with something to do with France. It's not that they were born in France. That might well end up being something there, but that's not what the connection is. So we've got Mejbri, indeed. So it is Hannibal Mejbri, played with Sancho. They're all named after cannibals. Hannibal Lecter, indeed. They played with Mbappe as an interesting guess. That is a very good guess. It's not that, I'm afraid. They all played for Lille, goes Quadmo. It's not that, I'm afraid. They're born in Paris. It's not where they're born. So they're all players are ex-French youth players. So that's a fine guess. It's not quite there. All coached by Rudy Garcia. Brazilian has no guesses. He's just here to say hello. Well, hello, Brazilian. I hope you're doing rather well. So they played with J.J. Okocha, says Comic Genius. Now, I have to tell you guys that we have a correct answer. We have a correct answer, and it's over on YouTube. We also have a correct answer over on Twitch, but unfortunately it came through a little bit later. Darth Joel has said they're all Clairefontaine graduates. And then Shunaldo came through with ex-Clairefontaine graduates. And you see, we have Mbappe. We have Thierry Henry, because it is indeed Clairefontaine graduates. Phenomenal work. I genuinely didn't think anyone would get it that early. That is incredible knowledge. And like the seeds were there early from Real Betis, knowing that Rafael Guerrero was born in France. And we had the same with Hannibal Mejbri. Then you getting very, very close, really, really early off the bat. And very, very cruel on Shunaldo to be pipped to the post. That's all 3 games so far tonight have been very, very close. But some fantastic work by Darth Joel over on YouTube. He says, yay, indeed. Hungdamin says, man, I'm shit at these games. They are tricky, Hungdamin. I mean, there's no shame in not getting points. I think you're still on the all-time leaderboard, aren't you? I think you're still in the top 15. My French football knowledge is shit, to be fair, says Real Betis. Fair enough. I was right. I'm good with that, says RJ. You were on the right track. It was very, very close. Right, let's head back and let's go head on to the next game against TPS. TPS, who are in 11th, they are still 4 points behind. We still have a 4-point gap, which is okay. Now we do have to wonder if we don't secure that 7th place and get into the European playoff thingy, whether that's going to start making our position a little bit nervy. We've remained stable all the way throughout, despite falling short of expectations. FC Hacker, though, now have just jumped ahead of us. Thank you for the hydrate, El Norby. So are we still in Europe? No, Akeb. We got knocked out by the Armenian side, Neftchi Baku. We kind of put all our eggs into one basket. We got the win over HJK in the league. We had an outside chance of finishing in the top 6. And so we kind of accepted defeat in the cup. We lost the first leg at home 1-0. The second leg we didn't really try. Quite spirited. We did take the lead. We did concede to an injury time own goal as well. And for a moment, it looked like we might have had a small chance of making it into that final steps. But yeah, there you go. We made £600,000 out of it, which is pretty decent. So where are we? There's, I think. Oh, we're up to date. I do apologise. I say we're up to date. There was a whole load that I've missed. So there we go. Let's see. We've got TPS away from home. The change I'm going to make is I've moved him to a pressing forward on attack, and I'm going to put Olawale up front. So we're going to go with Rockman, Olawale, Ajala in deep midfield. Dahlstrom can run. Larson on that side there. Shardo is back from injury, so he comes onto the bench. And he's going to come in for Kuitunen. And we're also got to put Fonsell back on the bench. I think it's Slayman who misses out. We don't really need two big strikers on the bench. So that's what we're hoping for. So who do I want my team to buy in winter, Musterman? Fair question. I would like us to sign a right back. Any right back will do. Like Matty Cash is a perfectly fine player. I mean, we ended up playing him in right midfield because we clearly didn't trust him as a right back for a few games, which says everything about our situation at the moment. Esri Konsa's played a lot out at right back, and that's not really ideal because it means Diego Carlos has to play centre back. So maybe if Emery sees Konsa as a right back long term, then bring in a proper good right-footed centre back to take that spot instead. Otherwise, a right back maybe in the mould of Coyote, someone of that kind of quality would be nice. Show the finances. Right, okay, let's do that. We are very much in the black. We've got £500,000. It's in pounds because I haven't changed it over from when I was doing the video for tomorrow. So normally in the save I'd be doing things in euros, but here we are. We're in a decent spot. We are spending a little bit over our wage budget, but otherwise, yeah, reasonably okay. Pardon me. What's going on with Martin? Asked Ladislav Almasi. Luca Dini has been incredible this season. He's gonna have to earn the spot. Like, Martin has come on, he's done well as substitute. He doesn't seem to be right, go out there and impress me. I have faith. He doesn't seem to be unhappy with his role, so he seems to be patient and biding his time. That's just how it's gonna have to be. Villa are winning the Discord poll now, are they? Interesting. You want a right back? You can have Ashley Young for £30 million. Thank you. That's very kind. Gertrude links in the summer. Gertrude would have been great. That would have been kind of the player we want. Rockman there with the header just a little bit over. Oh, we're up against Jääskeläinen. You can have Scott McTominay or Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I would have been quite fine with Wan-Bissaka. Great recovery pace. As someone who could potentially invert, that would be fine in terms of profile player. I'd be happy with that. Here's Rockman. Feeds Olawale. Olawale plays it back out to Larson. Larson skips inside Olawale. We're moving backwards. We were inside the box, but we're moving backwards. Okay, back to Ajala. Ashado finds Olawale. Olawale plays it out wide to Savalainen. Savalainen plays it all the way across, and that's the chance gone. Is it or is it not? Here's Dahlstrom, and here's Olawale! That was a really, really, really shit goal. Woo! Olawale with the header down to Dahlstrom. It's a great block, but Olawale comes onto the second time. A beautiful strike. The actual goal bit was nice. The bit before the goal was the bit that was a bit shit. We finally have a game where with one shot on target, we've got the lead. Who'd have thought it? Anything can happen. Dreams can come true. Although, that is it. There are no more chances being created in the game. Haven't had a shot since. The next shot is going to be a free kick from Wendon Thompson. Hits the wall, goes out for a corner. Romberg will take the corner. It's going to be an outswinger with the right foot. It's one at the near post by us. Olawale gets it clear. Nilsson gathers. Gets down the right. Sends the cross hanging in. Schultz gets there. Schultz, just stay calm. Roll it out. Or don't roll it out. Kick it long. That's not what you've been asked to do. Here's Olawale though. It seems to have worked out okay. Dahlstrom back to Ndajala. We're moving backwards again. And then we're doing that. Now here's a chance. What on earth was that? Right, okay. This is bad. That's bad, okay? That is truly, truly awful. Watch Machado here. Machado looks at the striker. Machado here looking at the striker. You can see the striker is running that way. Machado does that. What the fuck is that? My word. Why can't I make a substitution? There we go. He's off. Absolutely no doubt about that whatsoever. Let's take the tackle harder off on these guys. We are going to push that press up a little bit now. But yeah, absolutely no way whatsoever that man can survive any more minutes on the pitch. That is disgraceful defending. I think you can't fine a player for poor performance, can you? Because that would be fine worthy. So again, we're doing okay in terms of possession, but this isn't a particularly possession heavy approach. We seem to be. Let's push the mentality back up a bit. We are unbalanced. I suppose that could be part of it, but balance shouldn't be. That feels like really cautious rather than balanced. Jala has now taken a knock. So well done on controlling possession. Let's add some be more expressive. We need to make our second substitution. It's going to be Juhi. Juhi is going to come on the base of midfield. Let's see how we go. So, Keystone Cops defending, indeed. Machado can leave if he keeps doing that. As I said, I don't mind him leaving. And that's kind of the reason why. Well, that wasn't the reason why. The reason why was because I'm looking to go to a back four and I prefer Queaton, generally speaking. Machado, I'll just pretend he's not there and go back in the centre. Crazy. Machado, no, indeed. Somebody needs to tell Machado that zonal marking is generally for set pieces. But it doesn't even make sense. It's in a back four. There isn't a central centre-back. He was going to mark a zone that he's not even meant to be marking. Now here's Rockman. Feeds Olawale. Oh, what a save from Jääskeläinen. He was offside anyway. It's offside anyway, but that's a lovely, lovely save. This is a classic game by most accounts. We are doing a battle of attrition from here on in. Once we've got some better players, maybe we'd create some chances, eh? We're pushing up to attacking. I know we've got the lead, but I really don't trust our ability to keep clean sheets. Olawale is exhausted. We will give Rockman the one up front. Rockman Abendeus. Jääskeläinen's going to send it long. Have we again left it too late to make our changes? Here's Rockman. Goes down the left. Kind of runs himself into danger. Loses the ball. Chance now maybe for TPS to push forwards. Bostrom loses out though to Dahlstrom. Rockman here running with it again. Rockman on the outside. Sends the cross in surely at some point. Wins the corner. A corner is better than nothing, eh? Rockman Amadeus. Niche reference. What a tune. Everyone loves a bit of Falco, right? Machado's magic tricks and similar problems with FM centre-backs are the reasons why I never leave only two centre-backs to guard against counters in FM. There we go. Always three men. I am a big fan of the 2-3 build-up shape, personally. Largely because when I go for a 3-2 build-up, you end up with games like this, which is a bit weird because we've got a two-man build-up where the ball stays deep and never moves forwards. Right, both fullbacks are tired, so we're going to bring on Forstrom. Forstrom is a centre-back who's just going to have to push forwards, but he can't be much difference. We're going to bring on Bonsell. Is that 4? That is 4 changes already. We've only got the 1 stoppage left, so do we... I think we're going to bring off Okereke, Bonsell, and we're not going to bring on Lundberg at any point in this game. Which feels like a bit of a shame. I would have liked to have brought Lundberg on. So I love 3-2 shape in FM because it kind of works for me, both being safe and being reliable in possession. That's fair. Again, we always say FM mistakes are crazy. Have you ever watched non-top 5 league games? I watched Jupiler Pro. That was that would have upset me if we'd conceded in injury time, and there's still a chance that we do. Here we go, Carlson, edge of the area. Oh, it was only moments wide. Here's Carlson again. Sends it into Lapisto. Schultz claims. I thought that was going to be. Jab. There we go. The time is up. Blow the whistle, ref. Blow the whistle, referee. What are you doing? Romberg plays it forwards. Koulibaly. They've got players over on the right-hand side. It's a low cross. Queaton puts it behind for a corner. It's got to be one last chance here for TPS. The keeper is up. Will Jaskalainen do anything? He won't, but Gabay has a chance to send it in again. Schultz claims. Sit down.
Maria ho, Maria who, Maria ha, Maria he, Maria ho, Maria who, Maria ha, Maria he, Maria ho, Maria who, Maria ha, Maria he, Maria ho, Maria who, Maria ha.
There we go. We've got a win at the third time of asking tonight. First win in 23 matches, said Crodmo. You cheeky bugger. You cheeky bugger indeed. So, the results have not been what we want so far, but we've only conceded 2 goals in the last 3 games, and that's been a massive, massive issue for us. I'm quite happy for us to fix one issue. The other issue obviously has been is that we don't score our chances. We did score. We have beaten our XG today. Ajala is going to be out for over a week. Whitening is tired. Our assistant manager is selling our best player. There we go. So, Whitening is the player who's super tired. Let's just go through this. We're not resting the guy who's injured. He's automatically rested. We're not going to... In fact, we're near the end of the season. We're going to rest those guys for 2 days. We're going to rest Whitening for 3 days. Make sure that they're nice and fresh. And the second... I thought Rockman played quite well. But Lundberg can play as a striker. He's not a dribbly boy. His physical profile is coming along really, really nicely. And the next game against Cups, we're going to have Lundberg there as an option for when we do send it long. A bit more of a presence in a box, hopefully. So, RJ was saying, we always say FM mistakes are crazy. Have you ever watched non-top 5 league games? I watch Jupiler Pro League. I see worse than that every week. I mean, I as I said, my reaction to it was I'm blaming Machado there, not blaming the game. That was some hideous defending. I wouldn't expect that watching like St Albans City down in the Vanarama South. Are they in the Vanarama South or are they even lower now? Who knows anymore? Crodmo prefers Falcao to Falco, understandably. I don't know why feels like I'm Maresca and you are Ange. Fair. The league of my country, Vietnam, can be even worse than yours. It's a competition between what is the worst league. Tales of the Tapes is a 2-3-5 man. Good on you, Tale of the Tapes. Proper Allardyce performance there. We are fixing the defence. I say we're fixing the defence. I mean, Oh, yes. Yes, that's a point. I mean, we were going to be doing it in the summer anyway, so that's absolutely fine. Queatenham back into the starting lineup. Machado back out for Lofgren. That is his last game for us. Completely and utterly officially. Shocking contribution. Dahlstrom. Actually, Dahlstrom would be the starter, wouldn't he? Let's be fair. So, almost a century passed and we're still inverting the pyramid. We are indeed, Tales and Tapes. They won. Give them 2 weeks. Just don't bother turning up for the next game. ACAB watched Westerlo against Mechelen last Friday. Like that Iranian guy from Westerlo. So, oh my word, Syed Manesh. Syed Manesh. Some good unknown players in Belgium. Belgium has always been a hotbed of talent. A hotbed of talent that sometimes fall a little bit short of the lofty expectations. Oh, interesting. Ajala is no longer unhappy that we failed to finish in the top half. I was expecting him to be another one that we'd have to sell over the summer. That might change things. We'll see. So, Cup's up next in 10th. I think that should be okay. We've lost to Cups a few times, haven't we? We've lost once to them. We lost 3-1 the very first time we played them. Artu Heinonen, the man with the mullet. What a man. What a man. He's had his form's dropped off. Only 6 goals this season. But his mullet and his moustache are still as majestic as ever. So Bertuccini at St. Tronde you like. You'd have him as a replacement if Dolberg leaves. Really good poacher. Interesting. Let's do a little bit of nosying. I mean, not that I'll be able to see anything from we haven't. I'm guessing Centron might be just a bit too. Maybe. Oh, is it that one? Nope, that's the Norwegian Trond. Type Trudent, sent Trudan. Right, okay. Our setup doesn't have him from the looks of things. That's a shame. They let a player called Ogawa go. But yes, that's a shame. Not that we would have been able to see it because it would have probably all been hidden. A small database, so it was either medium or large, but we've been very selective with the leagues, just because we found that it took a little bit too much of the CPU up as we were going. My word, it's an FM console. Good evening, FM console. How are you, sir? Are you all set for Christmas? Right, we're expected to draw. I love that our board. So, I do wonder how good we actually are or not, because after finishing 4th last season, we started off the season with odds of 4th, but we're in 7th. We're not. We don't seem to have gone beyond stable, under stable job security. They still think that we're going to lose games and draw games against teams like Cups. So I do wonder how bad we are. Like, does the game view our squad as being like really, really bad? And actually, the 7th place is pretty decent. Or is it just that the league is so chaotic that they can't predict who's going to win, and so the board just say, yeah, whatever. We're average, to be honest. Average feels fair. FM console, I can't wait for it to be over. Fed up of wrapping presents now. That's understandable. I'm good, sir. I'm good. Quadmo is 2 and it hasn't even started yet. That's a fair response too. Right. I don't know why these guys are tackling harder. I'm going to push that up. But sticking with that, we're going to see what it's like with Lundberg playing off the striker. His, like, as we can see, his physical profile has improved there. Not necessarily particularly good in terms of the technical quality, but by maybe having him arrive late in the box, he could be quite a threat. So I want to see how that works out. Definitely a bit different to what I would expect there. Not quite so much that Morgan Rogers-esque profile. So I'm going to stick with go out there and impress me. We've got some good reactions, so we'll just talk to the people that didn't react. That's Dahlstrom, that's Enquist, that's Kuitunen, that's Savalainen, that's Lasse Schultz. I want to see good performances from you. Here we go. Can we make it 2 wins in a row? Let's score right from kickoff. That would be nice. Or run into the man and win a throw-in. Pretty much the same thing. Same thing. Potato has said, indeed, we are sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. That is fair. And a classic quote. Right, here's a build-up for Cups. Play it down the line. We don't see the ball. Schultz has come a long way out of his area to gather. Is Schultz going to pass it safe? He does. Savalainen feeds Dahlstrom. Rockman loses out, though, in the challenge. Cups now with Hervonen. Great interception from Okereke. Lundberg with the ball now. Feeds Olawale. Olawale looks out wide for Savalainen. Savalainen to push down the line. Sends the cross into the far post. Lundberg's there. Lundberg somehow manages to send it miles over at the far post. Oh my. Right, free kick now for Cups. Good evening, Kwan. How are you doing? We've not been relegated yet, but we've missed your bribery. We have very much missed your bribery. Oh, Dahlstrom just gets a foot in, steers it back to Schultz. Schultz now will go long, looking for Lundberg. We have sent more long balls to Lundberg in the first 9 minutes than we do when we play him as a target forward. It doesn't stick, though. Now Rockman is here. Plays it inside. Okereke to Lundberg. And it's an awful error from Koistinen there. Olawale puts us 1-0 up. It is quite nice. It is quite nice for us to be the beneficiary of something like that. Rockman says a nice pass there. Okereke played it in, but Lundberg let it run. Koistinen with a shocking error, and Olawale on hand. You can't miss from there. I mean, Olawale could miss from there. Most of our players could probably miss from there, given the way their finishing has been at times. 1-0. But Kups looking to restore parity at some point here. Larson plays it inside to Enquist. It's a bad pass from Enquist. Mazinga. And there we go. The Lord he giveth. The Lord he taketh away. Yeah, we need the refs nobbling. Exactly. How is Coit doing? Asks ACAP. So, he's, I think I saw AJ reply. He's doing what he can with the worst team. So FM Console says, I thank God I have the kids because I lost interest in the festive spirit for a while. But the youngest has finally understood it and is fully caught up with the belief for the first time. Oh, that's quite nice. I mean, they often do say that kids are where the magic of Christmas is. Okay, we've survived. We have survived. This isn't going... Well, I say it's not going well. They've only had one shot. That shot was a low XG chance that went in. We have had some chances. That Lundberg miss looks looming large already. But can he make up for it? He sends it out to Larson. Larson tries to cut inside, nothing going. Puts back to Reiten. Reiten takes his time to play it into Dahlstrom, but eventually gets there. Savalainen now plays it to Rockman. Rockman, can he get it out of his feet? He can. Sends the cross in across the box. No one can get a touch to it. Larson feeds it to Lundberg. Lundberg take a shot. Larson takes a shot. Olawale takes a shot. Oh, it looked like we went... What? Lundberg, I mean, I suppose he did the right thing there. Larson unlucky to see it come off the post, and Olawale's there to stab home his 17th goal of the season. Every shot on target has been a goal. Every shot on target has been a goal. So Kwan was saying, as soon as I join, you score. And then we conceded immediately thereafter. Here's Ajala, plays it in Lampinen. Lampinen's created the angle, and that's 2-2. That is 2-2. Oh, you know, I was saying that it looks like we've done a better job with our defense in the last few games. No, we haven't. No, we haven't. So FM Console says she's got a seriously bad cold, so she has a fever and cold. It's clinging on to everyone. Oh no, I was just going to say that was the magic of Christmas, and no, that's a shame. That's always going to be that's tough, especially at this time of year, because she's really excited and she's going to feel bad that she's ill. That's a shame. LRT, I assume you're not here anymore. You've come in, you've done your thing, and then you've buggered off. I did warn you very, very, very politely the last 2 times you've done it. So, if you do hear this back, that's why you've been banned. Right, I'm not happy with your performance so far. We've scored both our shots on target, but we've also conceded both the shots on target. Time to dig in. We weren't that bad. Both of our wingers are booked. Rockman, I feel, has been unlucky. He sent in 2 really good crosses that no one's really attacked, or they've missed the ball. Did like... What is that? Something flying around in my peripheral vision. Right, we're going to bring Rockman off. We're going to put Dahlstrom out there. Are we going to put Dahlstrom out there? We are going to put Dahlstrom out there. Just so that we don't have too many players at risk. That actually, and we will go to the be more expressive. We need to be creating better chances. It's called a fly. It is called a fly. Well, I mean, I assume it's a fly. Can we have a song for Olawale now? We will have a song for Olawale. Absolutely. 17 for Olawale Crockett. And he was out injured for like 6 games. Incredibly. We should have bought off Larson. We should have bought off Larson out of the book players. Right. That's going to be Shambost coming on. I'm going to just try switching to inverted winger as well. See if that makes much difference. That's what I would normally... In this system, I would normally have an inverted winger, but like I don't think we've got the right profile of player for that. This game is the definition of Christmas spirit. I mean, it does feel like they've all been on Christmas spirits for sure with the way they've been defending. When do we get a Banhammer song? I mean, I do like the song Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel. We could definitely do something there. Now, here's Lampinen. Lampinen's going to cross it in. Mazinga there. Here's header. It was always going to be difficult to get the power on that one. Right, let's fire you guys up. I do think we're going to need to start... yeah, we're a bit poor this second half. Heinen with the corner. Sends it into the far post. Cisse beaten in the air by Lundberg, but Koisten's going to get it. Koisten going to be forced back. No, he's able to play inside to Hämäläinen. Hämäläinen is forced back. Koistinen tries to send an early cross in. Savalainen tries to score for them. I mean, I suppose that is one way to score goals. I'll be back. The snacks are calling, says Adam. Here's Lundberg. Lundberg's through. Lundberg. Oh, Lundberg's missed 2 big chances so far this game. I think Jimmy Slayman is calling. Lundberg heads it over again. Jimmy Slayman is definitely calling. And if Jimmy Slayman is calling, that means we're going with a deep line forward on the right. That's an advanced forward for Olawale. Dahlstrom is tiring. Savalainen is... Right, Savalainen is coming off. Forsström might be a defender left centre, but he's right-footed. So we'll go with that change there. And we want to say, go and score the winning goal. Forstrom comes on and he gets a knock immediately, which is always what we want to see. Wheaton with the header. Here's Slayman, plays it back. Forstrom looks to have recovered a bit now. That's good. Ball runs from Slayman. It's a little bit sloppy right now, but here's Ajala, plays it down the line. Lampinen was completely free. No one really paying attention to him. No one paying attention to Hervenen either. Tamminen there. Tamminen is a lot bigger than Enquist. So that is going to be that change. We have an actual centre-back in that position there. Full-back on the wrong side, so I'll put defensive midfielder there. And that's going to be Fonsell coming on. We're going to push up to attacking. Because we've gone all the way up to attacking, do we? Yeah, let's do that. Don't need to say anything to Fonsell. He's motivated. Here's Dahlstrom, though. Here's Slayman. Slayman. Oh, that's offside. It's offside. It's offside. It's offside. Boo. And it wasn't Slayman, but surely Slayman was offside as well. No, he was behind play. So in the game where it comes down to which keeper could make a save, it has been currently their keeper who made the save. 3 shots on target for both teams each. We're 3-2 down. Oh, for fuck's sake. Enquist, what a lovely bend on that. Lovely bend on that. A beautiful free kick. That's what you get. That's what you get for being positive in the first half and thinking we might actually win a game. Here's Tamminen to make it 4. Schultz makes a save. Everybody scream. Schultz makes a save. Koistin to Enquist. Olawale nips in. Here's Juhi. Time is surely up. Slayman's passed. Can't do it. Lundberg is going to have to shoulder a lot of blame. 3 amazing chances that he missed. We really should have been out of sight before that free kick even happened. Shambos plays it down the line. That's the final whistle. It's another defeat. Another painful defeat. Yes, I know we need to get a better keeper. They're a bit difficult to get hold of. That's been the big issue. All the keepers we've looked at so far want thousands, which we can't afford. Leave to physio. Riikonen gets back into the starting lineup. Lucky old Riikonen. Just in time for Skoglund to be back. Skoglund will be back by the next game. That's something we can look forward to. A game against Ekenas. What is the situation here? After 25 games, so there's 2 games remaining, we still have a 2-point lead. We don't deserve to. Nobody wants to get into that playoff spot from the looks of things. Right, so what did I miss? We have... So Olawale is easy, the Kolo Yaya Torre chant. Olawale. Indeed. Well, I'm quite a big fan of the idea of Mr. Bombastic. So I generally think the team is 100% better if you have a viable keeper. 100%. That's, yeah, what you're thinking. Better goalkeeper and centre-back. So, okay. This game, we've had 3 games before that where we've done pretty well in terms of restricting chances. We've conceded some really dumb goals. I'm happy with Reitinen. I'm okay with Kuitunen. As a squad option, someone who can start probably a good 20 games a season or so. I'm fine with Kuitunen. An extra centre back would be nice. But a defensive-minded fullback would be really good. Then we can have Savalainen and Enquist as the left backs. I would like us to... We expect Dahlstrom to leave at the end of his contract this year. So deep line playmaker is going to be a huge thing. And I kind of want to get 3 players of that profile in. So have Shambost and Dahlstrom's position filled by 3 players. Because this guy is basically just someone who's going to sit in here, let him overlap, let him attack, and kind of build up that way. Ideally, we could move this to a roaming playmaker eventually. So this guy can start to be a bit more involved forwards, give support to Rockman, and Rockman runs the thing. So I want a fullback three players that can fit between these two spots here. A proper winger. I think Skoglund comes back as our shadow striker. And then we have the different profiles of striker in Olawale and Lundberg up front, and then Jimmy Slayman as well. That's the thoughts. We essentially want to prioritise players that can pass and control the ball. We do seem to struggle quite a bit with passing, basically. So that's the area that I'd like us to address. Right. ACAP says, you have snacks in Britain? I thought you were all eating that mint chocolate garbage. What's wrong with mint chocolate? We only have post-Brexit snacks. Mint chocolate. Especially those after eights, revolting. Oh, after eights are amazing. Tastes like fucking toothpaste. I like toothpaste, says RJ. Why do people... how? I can't believe... he's going to be disciplined. Didn't turn up for training. Disgraceful. I forgot to rest these guys. So let's do that. Dahlstrom's just decided to take rest himself. So Adam raided the co-op's reduced to clear section earlier, so have a couple of their meal deal sandwiches. Good man. We don't keep many Christmas snacks in the house because we don't spend Christmas Day here. That's fair enough. But that's more reason to keep Christmas snacks in the house, because, you know, they're all going to be eaten just by you. Brilliant. Start of the season, I think there are some doubts on your keeper's stats, if I remember. Oh, yes, yeah. We spent a lot of time looking through a lot of keepers. They're just really, really bad, and we can't afford the ones that weren't truly awful. Asking RJ to ship some very tasty Belgian chocolates. That would be nice. Belgian chocolate is good. Leonidas, please. We also have bad ones. The liquor ones. Oh, you're going for the luxuries. FM console had something similar at Aberdeen, but had a register. Yeah, so the ideal system, the system that I found has worked for me in this edition of FM, not necessarily with this team, would be a roaming play so they can push forward into that area. And this player would be an inverted winger. Because they've got withhold position, the inverted winger does still sit kind of deep, and you've kind of got that support. And then, actually, that's the change I am going to make. That way we can have that back three with Savalainen kind of supporting more in this area. That's what we're going to do for the Ekenas game anyway, at least. Quadmo hasn't been to Belgium since 2017. You have a good taste for a Brit. Don't say that to him, ACAB. Don't feed the Quadmo. Don't feed the Quadmo. Supreme Quan, mint chocolate, toothpaste and chocolate. Like mint is like I understand in some respects. Yes, toothpaste is mint flavored. Mint can be really nice in the right environment, and like I would prefer, say, a Kendall mint cake over mint chocolate. But mint's all right. Mint's all right. Tell me something about your Christmas dinner thing. Oh, okay. So Quomo says roast turkey, usually sometimes chicken or goose if you're mega rich. I mean, yeah, so roast turkey. Roast turkey. Don't feed the Quadmo is fantastic. It's going to have to be, it needs to be a hashtag, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Mint chocolate is good. I don't know what you Europeans are talking about. Thank you. I mean, yes, thank you, Hank, for agreeing. But also, I know what American confectionery is like, so... Ladislav Massey says mint doesn't belong in chocolate. You're all wrong. You're all wrong. Only Hank is right. So, what... That needs to be on some merch. Don't feed the Quadmo. He would buy that merch. Okay, so we will have to find time to do some... I've got some merch designs sorted out. I'm going to scrap them. Don't feed the Quadmo definitely works. No one will understand it. That's beautiful. I love the idea of stuff that's kind of like that. So, from a merch perspective, I like the idea of things that either are so wonderfully vague that they could be used in any situation. You could wear something and you don't need to explain it. I also like the idea of things that are so ridiculous that people will ask and you'll feel embarrassed to explain it. That merch probably wouldn't sell particularly well. Hank will buy my beard for $1. This is priceless. I'm sorry, but this is priceless. Expectation. Oh my word, they expect us to win a game. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. The pressure is on. $2. Crodmo will go halves. No, still priceless. Still, $2 is most definitely a price. Unfortunately. Why do you want to get rid of my beard so much? Why do you want to get rid of my beard? Right. We have an ad starting shortly. That's my cue to get up and walk around. So we'll be back in about 3 minutes or so. We're going to be playing a round of Only Connect after that. And then we head into the last couple of games, potentially of the season. Exciting times ahead. I will see you in a few moments. Right, there's still 1 minute and 30 seconds left, but I'm done with stretching my legs. That's enough walking for the day. Let's catch up with a couple of things first. So, Adam would buy a tee if it's a 4XL. You are not a 4XL, my man. You could definitely fit into I think an extra small. Do that so that like it becomes a crop top. That'd be cool. Imagine a Don't Feed the Crodmo crop top. That'd be beautiful. So Crodmo. Like we've got Don't Feed the Crodmo. We've got Crodmo out. Would you allow me to use your likeness in merch? You've seen my awful drawing. Imagine your face amongst the words. We can get this sorted out eventually. It probably won't be until like February, March time. I'm building up a slow collection of stuff before I do it. And I thought I had enough, but I didn't want to release it before Christmas because that felt cynical. Quite frankly, and I know that's the best time to do it, but yeah, it's not done. By the way, Decro, welcome in. Thank you very much for the follow. I hope you're doing well. If you feel comfortable chatting, I see you've redeemed a hydrate. Thank you. Let us know who you support, whether you're playing FM at the moment, who you're playing as. Love to hear from you. We're about to play a game of Only Connect. But if you're new to the streams, I tend to be a little bit behind on chat, so I'm just catching up a bit on that first. Adam mentioned that the first few streams everyone was nice and supportive, and now it's just evolved into chaos and abuse. Thank God, we needed some chaos and abuse. That's when you know it's really a Twitch community, indeed. Popular streamers are getting bullied by the community. It's mandatory. You've got to be prepared for it. You've got to be prepared for it. So I'm thinking of a hoodie with "Don't feed the Crodmo" on the front and Crodmo out on the back. Crodmo, unsurprisingly, is very, very keen on that. Crodmo can't balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle, or so I've heard. So, you see, the thing is, like, the first time I met Crodmo was playing five-a-side football. At the time, I was a regular smoker, and he wouldn't stop running around. I'm not sure whether he could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle, but the bastard doesn't stay still, and that's really, really annoying when you're a fat smoker. If you do a drawing of my face with Crodmo out on it, I will sign all relevant release papers. No one even knows what you look like. Exactly. So it doesn't matter if the drawing is bad, which is even better. Can I wear a Crodmo merch for a date? I think you can. Gerard Torellas, thank you very much for the follow. I don't know if you heard me say it to Deco a little bit before, but do let us, if you're comfortable chatting, let us know who you support, who you're playing with in FM. Love to hear from you, but there's zero obligation to do so. Right, let's play Only Connect, and I'll explain the rules. You're going to see four pictures of football players, one after the other. They have a common connection, something that links them all together, and your job is to guess what that connection is. The earlier you guess, the more points you get, and those points end up on that lovely little leaderboard that's appearing down beneath you there. The pictures won't say the player's name on it, so if you know who it is, mention it in chat, and that way everyone kind of knows, and you kind of get a bit of an idea of who it might be, or maybe what the connections are, and you can kind of work together in that respect. So Decro supports Toronto FC, currently playing Bologna. Are you Canada based? Are you a Canadian then, Decro? What time is it? What time is it there now? Must be about 6. It's about just gone 6 p.m. Or is further over? I shouldn't try and work it. I'll let you tell me. Yes, it depends on time zone, says Hank. Indeed. So let's move on. Here is the very, very first clue. I think people will know who this is at the very least. Now, Crodmo has said more pointing. Crodmo is a mover, a shaker, a trequartista. Were you the Jamie Vardy of a five-a-side? More pointing, he says. Well, here's someone who is pointing. It is indeed, as Hank has definitely 100% guessed right, it's Tony Kroos, it's even Rakitic. It is all of those people. And RJ has to come in and be sensible. How dare you, RJ? I appreciate it. It is indeed old man Modric. Like old man Time, but with slightly cooler hair. World Cup player of the tourneys, Ladislav Almasi is going for as a guess. That's a fine guess. It's not that, but I know what you meant. Don't worry. Respect his Ballon d'Or. Most definitely. Crodmo, the roaming playmaker. The box-to-box midfielder. I mean, I would... So, Crodmo is definitely more of an attacking player than he is a defensive player. But I would describe him as a ball-winning midfielder in so much as he just, like, runs around like a headless chicken. I know that's rich because I don't run around, nor can I play football at any particular quality. Decisions 3, pace -6, long throws 20. That sounds about right. They are all too old, but still play goes for RJ. Now that would be a good one. It's not that unfortunate. Oldest Madrid players, it's a fine guess. Johan Cruyff lookalike, says Tales of the Tapes over on YouTube. That is also a fine guess. So Crodmo once read a match report which said Modric looks like a 7-year-old girl dressed as a witch, and now I can't unsee that. That's incredible stuff. A captain on Small Nation, says Quan, throwing a little bit of international shade there. It's 4 p.m. in Ontario. It's 4 p.m. Ontario. Toronto is your local club. Liverpool is your premier team. I fell in love with Kenny Dalglish's Carling Cup winning team and didn't know the pain I would suffer. Oh, Decro, that's not pain. Liverpool have had it good. I mean, if you think that not that long after you had Kenny Dalglish's Blackburn, and it's been all downhill for them since then. So played with Van der Vaart. Good guess. It's not that. Players who've been beaten by Hungary. All players with more than 800 matches. Survived the Daniel Levy experience. They are all some fine guesses. Demir has gone for lost Euros in the final. That's also a fine guess. That's not the clue though. That's not we're not there yet, unfortunately. So Ladislav also went for man of the matches in major tournament matches that eliminated England. That is very, very specific. But it's not that. So Crodmo has gone for all played for Harry Redknapp at Spurs. Hoping that somehow that Harry Redknapp transported himself forwards in time to manage Richarlison. It's not that, I'm afraid. Hank has gone for Chicken Man. That's fair. Potato midfielders who won the Ballon d'Or. Unfortunately, the new clue has probably ruined that. That's probably ruined that. Richie, I love you, Richie. Please come home. Never won a trophy for Spurs has gone Kwan. There's way more than 4 of those. There are indeed. They won trophies outside of a Spurs jersey. That's a fine guess. It's not that at all. It's not that, I'm afraid. Tottenham's been guessed. It's not Tottenham related. Played with Bale, says Decro. It's not Bale. Scored a bicycle kick in the World Cup. It's a fine guess. It's not that. Played better than Anthony. Everyone has played better than Anthony. All scored World Cup goal of the tournament. That's a fine guess. It's not there. Isabel's is in. You're here again, but I'm wary I'm about to sign off. We're not about to sign off. We've got quite a few games still to go. Welcome in, Isabel's. How are you doing? Played with Casemiro, says Johnny Trotter. A fine guess. It's not Casemiro. World Cup player of the tournament. It's not that either, I'm afraid. Let's see. Crodmo is better than Anthony we're going for. Quite possibly. Here we go. Another player I'm pretty certain you should all be able to work out. Register Man, he says. It's not going to dampen those calls for it being World Cup player of the tournament, that's for sure. Less spousal abuse from you too as well. Unproven, but yes, I should certainly hope so. I will check though. Now you're making me worry that you might be Anthony. Not at all. So is indeed Perlos? Is it to do with Trivela passes? That's a fine idea. I think that would be quite hard to quantify. Crodmo has gone for all missed a penalty in the World Cup. That's a good guess. There is a better guess though. Because Alt Farby has suggested they all played under Ancelotti. Well, you see, we're going to end with Hernan Crespo. Famously played under Ancelotti at Parma, 1996 to 1998. Modric was at Real Madrid in 2013 to 2015 and 2021 onwards. Charlison at Everton, 2019 to 2021. AC Milan's Pirlo, 2001 to 2009. Fantastic work, Alt Farby. Beautiful stuff. So Crodmo seems a little bit disappointed he didn't get that. Ladislav has called him Don Carlito indeed. Great work. What a manager. It's lovely to have someone who spans so long as well. That Parma side was so fun. Such a shame what happened to them after that. Johnny Trotman, one of those that's so obvious in hindsight. I think that it only really starts to become obvious once you hit Pirlo, and that's where we got guessed. If you got Crespo, I think everyone would have got it quite quickly there. Ancelotti was at Everton for 2 years. I thought it was only 1. So he was there right at the end of 2019 and then midway through. Crodmo said it. Yeah, literally just done 2019. He's a little more grey now. He is indeed. He is. Right, let's head on back in. Where's the thing? There we go. There's the transition into a game. It's a home game finally against Beckons. We finish off with 2 home games. Let's see how we can do. I have remembered whilst we were just before I came off the break, I'm moving passing back down to shorter because we always seem to play better with shorter passing. Imagine if Ancelotti, Richarlison, and James Rodriguez had all stayed. Oh, you're going to make Crodmo emotional now. We are hydrating. We are hydrating. Now, from what I recall, I rarely say that, and that's probably why. I have faith in the attacking players. I want to see a good performance from the defence. I've remembered to do this bit now. We're tight marking FM24. FM24 is a player I do seem to recall picking up pockets of space in the last time we played them. He's on the right. That's the side of our half-back, so I'm hoping maybe that will be okay. And Everton hadn't been funded by an Uzbek gangster. That has been quite a bad decision in hindsight, eh? So a Weekend masterclass incoming. We can only hope. Or maybe it'll be an Enquist masterclass. He hasn't really done much as this attacking fullback. Here's Olawale. Olawale takes aim from distance. Miguel's dives. That was a bit of a camera dive. It was always going wide. He knew it. He didn't stick his hands out. He just kind of flopped near it. So momentum is with Ekinas at the moment. It looks we've got another injury coming through. Only the one shot in the game so far. 2 shots there, both off target. Come on, boys, come on. Let's have a little bit more fire there. So we've got a second injury. Not saying that his action needs to go off. We will hold on until half time if we can. So Emmanuel has asked, when do you use wingback on automatic over on YouTube? I never do. So there's my answer. I would never use it, because if I'm going to be changing the mentality and I'm going to want my wing back to change with it, I'd much rather have the control over it. 2 shots in the whole game. It has been a poor game so far. We can't win if we don't shoot. Indeed, we can't. I also set these guys to swap in the player tab. I thought I'd just see what happens. Nothing much really has happened, so we are going to stop that. Why not? Let's just try out various different things. And Olawale is now going to go out to the right-hand wing because we're getting injuries to all our wide players. I say wide players. Someone like Ajala has just come back from injury. We've been playing him wide, but he's meant to be a central midfielder. It's not got the greatest vision from what I recall, so we'll go with this. What on earth is going on there? Personalized position for... Oh, okay, right. Load Mariehamn. So I think because I had the swap player thing on, it's gone all buggy. It has gone buggy. It's considering him at midfield right. We just swap him. Can I do it from here? Oh. Have I broken the game? There we go. Now we've got to change everything over. What? That was weird. That was definitely quite weird. Let's move him to be an inverted winger. Remember to take tackle harder off these guys. That's that. Okay, now we've got to work out where the players are. There's Lundberg here. Dahlstrom into this position. He should be a defensive midfielder on support. Olawale is the winger. Skoglund there. Akereke dropping in. Ajala is the defensive midfielder. Fullback. We're on positive. We drop that down. We don't need to do low crosses to Lundberg. Pardon me. Roll it out instead of to the centre back. Slightly more often. I think that's... Well, if we lose from here, we can obviously blame it on whatever happened there at some point. Paul Adams over on YouTube indeed says that Ekinas' logo looks like a car air freshener bag. 100% agreed. As Skoglund sends it into Lundberg, that is what we needed. That's 24 seconds in. Arvid Lundberg, 24 seconds into the second half. There's Skoglund. There's the man that we should have had playing all along had he not been injured. It's one shot on target in the game. Goalkeepers in the Finnish league seem to be bad across the board. We've stopped coming up against mega goalkeepers. It seems to be okay. Right. So I did see that you had the legend Martinez coaching. Can't be that bad if Belgium hired him after, right? So you're talking about, obviously, the wonderful Roberto Martinez. How do you feel about Roberto Martinez? So I could write a book on him. Me too. So essentially says RJ, fair enough. I broke the game with the tactic. It does seem that way. Isabel's asked, have I done drawings for every single player? As Lundberg scores once more.
He's the man in the box.
Get in. So I'm adding to it as we go. So most of the players are done. We don't have one for Skoglund right now. We don't have one for our backup keeper. But most of the players pretty much, yes. We've got some for our new gens as well. Jimmy Slayman and Igor Lofgren have faces now. Right, who do we spare? I'm going to drop down a little bit. Let's be a little bit more patient. Try and see this out in the last few minutes. We're going to bring off Kereke, bring on Foncel. We still have three substitutions we can use. So let's save them a little bit so we can waste some time. And the next change is Engqvist. No, Engqvist is sufficient. Shambost will come on. That leaves us with one stoppage to make with two players just to end the game. I want to leave it as late as we possibly can. See if we can get it. See if Lundberg can score a hat trick and we can bring him off for a standing ovation. But are we going to see Ekenas here that they haven't had a shot all game long into the dying minutes? Can they put some pressure on Fafana here? He's got the chance to cross. He gets it to the far post. Engqvist gets it away. Tammy from distance. Always going over. Here's the last changes. Ajala is looking tired now, so on comes Forsström. And Lofgren is going to come on and pop in at right back. We're just going to kill time at the end of the game here. Last bit of time wasting. That might guarantee us 7th, depending on how other results come. But here's a chance. Fafano, Lofgren gets it clear. They're really pushing now, Ekenas. Right in these last few moments, they've finally got that wind. Ball into the channels. Lofgren, just nice and simple. Olawale feeds Lundberg. Lundberg got a lot to do from here on his own, but he can play it back into Olawale. Olawale shoots, pushed over by Miguel's. Just 20 or so seconds left to go. Could be a home win. We haven't played a home game for quite a while now. Nice to get ourselves back to winning ways in front of our home fans as Lundberg almost gets his hat-trick. That is a pretty decent performance, I think. So was that just the one shot from Ekenas from about 25 yards? That is much, much better. A clean sheet indeed. Crodmo has shouted, shove my nose in shit. And that is indeed. I have changed the word, sadly. Did Willie come back from injury, by the way? He is. But we do have something a little bit more important to do now. And this, unfortunately, is going to get me a copyright strike on YouTube. Yeah, that will do nicely. Hungdamin says, oh my, I'm back and we're winning. A 3-man rest defence solves everything. It does indeed. So let's see what that does for us. So there's one game left now in the final stages. We have a 2-point gap between us and FC Hacker. FC Hacker with a massive 5-0 win against VPS. And I believe it's Hacker that we play now, isn't it? Or as the next game. Rockman's only a small injury, that's fine. Sherlin prefers Lundberg to Kane. That's a perfectly reasonable and sane thing for any human being to say. So we were up and positive in that second half. Everything else we did get back to where we were before. That's cool there. Skoglund, perhaps the difference maker, comes on, sets up Lundberg just 24 seconds into that second half. So if we win this game, we will then go into the European playoffs. I assume it's two-legged, isn't it, actually? It's two-legged, so we won't be away from home. Well, we will be away from home. We'll be away and we'll be at home. Technically, we could finish on more points than Gnistan. But we do have to navigate this final game. A draw is enough. A draw is enough. That made my quails screech. I'm pleased to hear it. Yeah, long story. That's very exotic, says Quadman. That's fair. Is the assistant okay? He seems tired. Look, it's understandable. Be honest, Arda. You choose Arvid Lundberg over Harry Kane. Everyone should choose Arvid Lundberg over Harry Kane, man. Who's heard of Harry Kane? Oh, Sherlin's going to get himself a license. We're paying £3,000. I mean, we don't know what his attributes are anyway, so it makes no difference really to us. So, crab lungs used to keep ducks. Impossible to domesticate, so I needed an alternative. Sounds like they were making you quackers, says Johnny Trotter. The man of puns in there, nice and quick. Nice and quick. Crodmo suggests you should try domesticating a tortoise. That sounds like a euphemism to me, I'll be honest. Yeah, sure, but I'm not everyone, so I'd take Kane, thanks. RJ, you lack the vision. Right, Reitinen is quite happy to stay. I wasn't even aware that... Oh yeah, Reitinen was unhappy about team talks, that's fine. So, cute little things. Was tempted to get an African grey parrot saint 1 point. Oh, at 1 point. I see. Yeah. Crab lungs used to keep ducks. Just a thing. Just a perfectly normal sentence. Hey, Cab. We're going back to the Monty Python well. It's an African swallow. What is the wind velocity though? Right, met one of those once. It bit me. Fair enough. You should domesticate a rat. What is the most outlandish pet that anyone has had here? So, I mean, ducks and tortoises aren't necessarily outlandish as a pet. Rats certainly aren't outlandish as a pet. But has anyone here had a crazy pet? Oh, a ferret. Gotta love a ferret. Johnny Trotter has pet rocks. The best type of pets, to be fair. Easiest to look after. ACAP has got ants. That is interesting. Like a colony with a glass, not cage, tank, a glass tank. That's quite cool. A gecko, says Ladislav Almasi fan. Not weird, but not common. Not common. I think I do quite like lizards. All different types of lizards are quite cool, quite funky. I mean, small little. I'm broken. I've forgotten what I was going to say. Yeah, geckos are basically dragons, right? They're just really small dragons. Crab lungs, cats are very independent, I suppose. Cats are. You thought about a fennec fox for a while? That'd be interesting. Oh, he didn't want to sign Angel Liberos. He does now. Let's do that. Here we go. Potentially, if we lose, this is the last game of the season. If we win, it's not. And we're going to... Right, okay. Let's take off the whole player swapping thing. That wasn't good for us. Before we do that, let's do the make him a tight foot just in case. Yeah, that still works. That's fine. Do we start Skoglund? I think we save Skoglund to come off the bench. These players aren't really fit for it. Now I don't know if Adam is still in. I do feel like we seem to do better when we don't start Shambost. So here we go. Here we go. Quadmo asks if Crablungs wants a zoo. That's probably fair. About Quadmo's cats. Quadmo has cats. I mean, I think the best thing to do for the cat conversation is to check them out in the Discord, right? Like you've added pictures, you've explained, you've talked about the cats, you've talked about the cats that don't like me, the cats that love everyone. Kilo there with a shot. There's Reekinen. Head on into the Discord where you can post pictures of your pets and see Quadmo's cats. A little insight into the man that is Quadmo before you buy the Quadmo out shirt. Here we go. So I feel like this highlight has been going on forever and not really anything happening. There we go. It ends with it doesn't end yet. Sends it long. We are on roll the ball out, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed, we seem to have sent a lot of long balls forwards, despite being on roll the ball out. Early exchanges have been Hacker's way, but we've got a free kick now. Olawale at the far post. Somehow, I mean, he was about a yard away, manages to send it miles over, but it was whipped in at pace. It would have been a difficult one to do. So this all needs to go in the pet chat section of Discord. Indeed, I hadn't quite caught up to that part of it. So Ladder says, my uncle takes care of the animals of a local school, has a snake and about 15 cats. That does sound fun. Unless the snake tries to eat the cats. We won't demand whilst the highlight's going. Rockman feeds Lundberg. Lundberg swings at it with his weaker foot. That's wide. Demand more. Come on, guys. Decro, would you ever consider doing an MLS save? I find the salary cap really makes the Moneyball style of playing extra important. So I haven't done an MLS save for a while, I must confess. I do find that I think that if I'd be doing an MLS save, it's likely to be an off-stream, off-video, in my own free time thing, because it's not very content friendly. The salary cap, the various details where it comes to all the different types of designated players, it just is quite complicated and really it doesn't feel like it'd be good content, I'm afraid to say. Now I don't know, like I may be wrong on that. There may be an appetite for it as Olawale steps in. That's got to be 1-0. That is 1-0. Mohamed Tehi Olawale seizing on an error once again. That's going to be our new tactical plan. All we're doing is we're just waiting for errors. So yeah, that's where I sit at the moment, Decro, I'm afraid. Right, where were we? RJ says two of Quadmo's cats look mad as fuck. They are. Darth Joel says maybe his teamwork is low, the goalkeeper. That's quite possible. And we've had it with Lasse Schultz as well. I think it's more that they don't like. If they see any kind of high press, they kind of panic, the keepers. They always have a tendency to send it long. It is part and parcel of it. It's fine. We also have a target forward, so maybe that's doing it. Snack time, says Quadmo. Feed the Quadmo. Don't feed the Quadmo. We've established this. Don't feed the Quadmo, especially after midnight or something like that, right? Ajala with a shot, not quite going there. Dill does a good job of it, but Dill is wonderful. I just think, yeah. I mean, it's not to say that like it's not anything inherently wrong. I think it's something that can be explained. I just think that when you then get to those points, especially with how slow I play when it comes to transfer windows, I don't think it would be a good mix with me. Right, 1-0 at half-time. No changes. We're just going to go with things as they are. They've made a change up front. You need a PhD to be an MLS manager. See, that's the thing I would say alternatively, is that I don't think the rules are that complicated. They're just not intuitive, I think might be the best way of putting it. You've got to be considering the different rules, especially when it comes to the off-budget stuff. Dahlstrom, what a save from Alberto Sanchez. Who is Alberto Sanchez? What's a player with a name like Alberto Sanchez doing in Finland? He sounds like he might be good. Right, around the hour mark. I know that he scored 2 goals last time out, but this is time to bring on the Slayman. As the deep lying forward, we've asked him to hold position. Dahlstrom is on a yellow. So Dahlstrom's yellow. Does that mean we're bringing on Shambosh? It does mean we're bringing on Shambosh. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. We're bringing on Boncel. We're going to push Ajala out wide. Trust you to make the difference. Crodmo is a gremlin. Noted. Exactly. Adam says mint matchmakers are God's work. Finally, some mint chocolate love. I mean, for a while, it was just me and Hank. Tatsugiri says mint is for lamb. I've never seen a chocolate sheep, and I'm Welsh. Yeah, you're not looking. Oh, Slayman, close there. I mean, ambitious to shoot from that distance, but yeah. Right, what changes are we making here? We're bringing on Skoglund. Skoglund definitely has to come on. Skoglund is our difference maker. Olawale out wide. Whiten's apparently not doing all too good, so let's bring on Forstrom into the last 10 minutes as well. Olawale, a lot of free kicks. But like mint and lamb, perfectly reasonable. Mint and chocolate too. I think you should definitely try some chocolate lamb. Chocolate crusted lamb? That sounds like this kind of thing you get in a posh wanky restaurant. Olawale hits the bar. Oh, yeah, I'm sure there is definitely like some wanky restaurant somewhere that serves chocolate crusted lamb. Almost certainly. Right, last change. Time wasting on. That last change is going to be Shambost on for Ajala. Do something for Shambost. So we've got a Welsh contingent in. Isabel's is also Welsh. FM Console was in earlier as well. Here's Hosef now. A chance, can they get a late equaliser? An equaliser isn't enough for Hacker. Hacker need to win to finish 7th. With the corner here. 4 minutes still left if they score right now. It's possible. Rogerson, though, lets it go out for a throw-in. Mervler will take it. It's Mervler. Mervler, the man with the marvellous hair. Savalainen gets it clear. Slayman tries to get back, can't get there. Mervler wins another corner. Pressure is coming, but certainly I probably shouldn't be time wasting. It's time wasting the only change I made this time, and it's still under pressure now. Savalainen gets it clear, and that isn't the end. That isn't the end yet. We still have 45 seconds to go. Shambos finds a Kereke. Boncel forward. Slayman loses out though. Here's Blumenstein. They've got past the defence. Here's Rogerson. It's going to carry it all the way. Rogerson with an awful shot. That was shocking. He was so tired by the end of it. A minute later, and now it's a throw-in. We are beyond the time now. But here's a long ball forward. We get it clear. That is 7th place. There we go. Incidentally, I stamped my feet in a rhythm a long time at the same time. I don't know why. I think I am officially brain broken. Another decent defensive performance there. We are conceding territory in those last few moments. That does seem to be a bit of an issue. But just one shot, 0 on target in the last game. Just 5 shots against Hacker. I do think we're onto something here. I think we're onto something. Now, that does mean we have potentially... Well, we have at least 2 more games. Potentially another 5, I think. Olawale on for a goal bonus. We qualify for the playoffs. Let's have a look at what that does for us. We qualify for the playoffs, but that does mean that we are without Dahlstrom. Or we're not. We'll find out. Maybe it gets cleared. Right, let's pop him on a rest. We don't have any games scheduled yet. Oh, that's why the games haven't actually been scheduled as a result. Oh, what the hell? This is awesome. Welcome to our celebration song. I went to see Aberystwyth Town once, says Crudmo. Aberystwyth was one of the universities I considered. Lovely, lovely place. Far too hilly, though. Well, I say far too hilly. I've got grandparents grandparent in Llandersil, and that is just basically a hill. So we have some Welsh chat. That makes sense, right? So Adam says, I don't know if it's usually had with lamb, but I'm sure there's a sauce called mole or something that is chocolate-based. You could certainly have that. Oh my word, so Tatsugiri and Isabel seems to... Do you know one another? Do you not know that you know one another? This is amazing. Ladislav Almasi asks, are we good or are the bad teams bad? I think it might be more of the latter than the former. Tatsugiri says Abertown is wonderful, full of drunk pubs and students. Oh, Abertown is wonderful. That's fair. And the high street is so dead. Hey, Cab, somebody wants Olawale. Well, yes, our assistant manager said he'd sell them, but he's wanted within the league. And I mean, Olawale, I will not stand in his way if we get an offer from like a good team. But we're not selling to HJK. Dear God, no. So where are we? Dan Bryan writes, worth dropping your wingers on to man mark their fullbacks when closing out with time wasting and dropping pace down. So just to be with this, we already have very, very specific marking instructions on our wide players. So our wide players mark the attacking midfielder right and attacking midfielder left spot. That's going to have gone off now. Whilst our fullbacks mark the striker central right and striker central left spots, so that makes them tuck in, and we essentially end up with like a back 5, back 6. A back 5 usually with the wide person on the side that they're attacking down. So I don't want them to then be man marking higher up. But we do need to pop that back on. He's the right winger, which is on their left hand side. That's attacking midfielder left. But yep, so we do occasionally. Part of the reason why I didn't this time, last couple of games, we dropped the tempo as well as increased time wasting, and that's why I didn't do it this time, was because last time we saw some pressure in the last few moments. So I just tried with the time wasting. We'll keep on tweaking and see what works with this setup. Right, that's the team. What's the deal with the Vikings That's all. They've still got a game left to go. That's at the weekend. So at the weekend we find out our draw. I guess that we get the team in 4th. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. We get the team in 4th, and then if we get through the whole thing. Oh, look at that. A transfer budget of 150,000k. My word, we're rich, lads. We're rich. We can ignore that. I wonder if that means that we might be able to sign a couple of players to extensions, potentially see if maybe Lundberg will change his mind about wanting to leave. We have money. We have money indeed. Can you offer a deal to Dahlstrom? We possibly could. Let's see what he's saying. So he is still on opt-out. He's interested at staying. Interesting. We say too much. under £1,000 a week? Quite possibly. That would be huge. That would be huge. Let's see what the budget is actually at. So we've got 445. Let's just pop that there. That would give us a bit more wiggle room on him, just in case the board were about to step in. Let's go. Star player, fine. Qualify for continental football in 2027. I'm happy. I mean, that's what we're aiming for. To be completely reasonable, I imagine that if we only 875. Oh. That is very, very tasty. Currently on 550, so that's an increase of 300. Push that down to 800. Beautiful stuff. That is marvellous. I wonder if Lundberg's got a year left anyway. There is one problem though. Larsson's contract is going to be extended. I think he's played 10 league games, hasn't he? He has most definitely played 10 league games, so we are lumbered with Larsson for another year unless we can find buyers. No one's interested in Machado. We won't be offering a contract to Riikonen, even if he's come back and kept a clean sheet. I mean, even Schultz has kept a clean sheet tonight. Right, that would be massive. That would be massive. I'm glad you spotted the news article. This is usually a sign that a deal is possible. I did not know that. Beautiful stuff. Thank you very much. So, sign a keeper must... We will sign a keeper. We will most definitely sign a keeper. Probably spunk all of our money on a keeper. 150k keeper suggests that's you. Maybe. So, 153k shopping spree. I have a feeling we are probably going to still... So, the same thing that we mentioned on the last stream. Inter Turku have won the league. Oh, that's a shock. So Ilves were never in it. They lost on the last day to HJK. How about that? Ilves down in third. HJK once again finished second. Inter Turku were in a relegation fight last season, I'm sure. Did they make it into the top 6 last year? Last season. So yeah, Inter Turku were down in 8th last year. They go on to win the whole thing. How about that? My word. Yeah, so the plan is that we're actually going to try and strip the squad down quite a bit and focus a lot more on loans next season. In the hope that we can spend a bit more money on the key players so we can build around. Having Dahlstrom, that's brilliant. Dahlstrom, Lundberg, Olawale, Reitinen, and then we could potentially spend big on a keeper, in terms of wages at least. And then try and fill everything else out with loans as much as we possibly can. So if we only have, say, 10 senior players on the books, that would be great. Right, Sina Nana, he's about this level. His backup was pretty good too. Poor Bayindir has to wait a whole year and a half to get a start, and he does that. Football fan is in. Good evening, football fan. How are you doing? Lumber with Larsson, a new Finnish reality TV show. You'd watch it though, wouldn't you? Sounds very woody. I saw that show. I see what you're doing there. Weren't Ilves bossing it? Yeah, but so to be fair, when we came to the league splitting, I think there was 1 point between HJK, Ilves, and Oulu. Oulu have fallen apart. It looks like they lost 2 draws and 3 defeats in the final bit, so they've only picked up 2 more points. But Inter Turku, yeah, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. It should have been axed. I see what you've done there. Lundberg is out. For our next game, it's against Gnistan. We start with an away game. Dahlstrom is suspended. So, it's Slayman's going to get the start. Oh no. Gogland then. Comes straight in. Juhi is back from injury. That's fine. Larson on the bench. He's not really a... Olawale could be a target for it. He can jump. He is strong. I like how it's worked with the target forward. Let's go for that then. Let's give Shambost Olawale as the strike force. That will be the plan, maybe. You gotta have loans. Loans, indeed. Indeed, we will be reprising the Zealand. No loans rule in Finland. There's I think the limit wasn't particularly restrictive if there was one. So you've got maximum of 6 foreign-based players. You've got maximum of 5 players allowed on loan in a season. So if we have 10 senior players, 5 loans and a number of youth players, perfect. So they're already suggesting that we don't offer contracts to the youth players that we offer. Oh no, these are the ones that didn't make it. They don't reckon that Teddy Person is worth doing so. He is unambitious, but he can pass already. And you can't not offer Rijkaard Bjorklund one. I mean, he's got really poor off the ball for a striker, but he's a model professional. I'll trust their judgment. We have to play Shambost. We've done so much better without him, and we now have to put him in the squad. It's bad. So, Football Fan says, I've got a little bit of a question. How do I know if some stats are still good regardless of their percentile? So basically they are in the 40th percentile for progressive passes, but they do 4.2. Right. Generally speaking, measure things, as we were discussing yesterday, measure things in relation to passes completed. So, for example, Luca Cuisin here has completed 4.89 progressive passes. That's in the that's around the 70th percentile. He's completed around the 65th percentile for passes generally. So, with a little bit of consideration there, you can kind of say that his progressive passes are a higher proportion than what you would expect for the amount he's on the ball. But at the same time, if you're looking for a player specifically to be progressive, then even if it's a relatively good bit progression compared to the number of completed passes, you've still got to question whether he'd be able to do it at high volumes. If they're not showing you that they can do it at high volumes, then you don't really have anything to go on. Is there a way to mentor away things like low consistency and unambition? I believe you can. Consistency, no. Consistency, it just comes with playing time. But ambition, yes, you should be able to do that through mentoring. Oh, Shambost. Okay, Skoglund is going to be behind the striker. Okay, so bring Larson straight back into the lineup. Skoglund, that's what we're going with. Everything we want here. Opposition. Make sure we do all of this. It is going to be hard to break down a 3-4-3. Got a couple of players who aren't particularly fit. We can do this. It's the away leg, so we should. Fans are up for it. Let's go with that. Let's say I have faith. So even if we can get a draw out of this game, that should put us in a reasonable position. Adam says Shambosh. Yep, mentoring, as Quadmo says, indeed. Trust in Slaymar. Like, it's not trusting Slayman. It's more about where the other players will fit on the pitch. So there's a chance early on. Good block. GTA Rob asks, are there any indicators of what type of system a player has played in the one you currently have? The best indicator is to look at what the preferences are of the manager that they've been playing for. Okay, because I had some players that some specific stats looked big, but they're still in low percentile. So football fan, yeah, I mean, you might think they look big, but compared to their position, it's low. It's low. Isabel says, like Neymar, but he slays. Indeed. Come on the ham. Come on the ham. Here we go, though. It's a chance for it's a beautiful piece of play. Oh, there we go. It's offside. Good things. I don't know if you guys remember the last time we played Gnistan. I do now that I've seen Lee Heitinen's name. We got a very, very lucky goal in a 3-3 draw, but just every shot on target they had, I think they equalised in like the 95th minute. Pain. We need to get revenge. We need an option for revenge. But revenge for a draw doesn't really make sense. We are doing a great job once again of making the games dull. 2 shots, both off target. But I'm happy with that. Adam Larson, we risked it. We shouldn't have done. So we are going Scotland. Yeah, Slayman as a deep lying forward. Olawale playing off him. Into the second half. Here we go. So GC Rob, that makes sense. I was just wondering how they might fit in using this type of method. Yeah, you do want, or you are best suited to try and find players that have experience in the kind of system you're using, because that's where you've got the greater evidence of players and the style that you're trying to do. So making the games dull sounds like a job for Dikey. Indeed. Adam once again advocating for Shambost. We play bad with him in the team. He's scored some goals. He's set up some goals. Granted, we've just missed a great chance there. We've tried boring opposition into submission now, and that seems to be better. So yeah, football fan, I will respond in a moment. It is quite difficult to answer like the statsy based stuff whilst the game's ongoing. There we go. What a save from Reikkonen even. What a save from Reikkonen. Oh, Gordon Banks. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Reikkonen's gone. He's opting out. He's reaffirmed on a couple of occasions that he's opting out as well. That was worthy of Emi Martinez. It was indeed. Right. Here we go. We've got the left-hand side is booked. You're going to get some Shambost, mainly because of the bookings. That's going to be Forstrom. Forstrom's going to play on the right, though. Savalainen is actually a full-back, so he can do the getting forward bit. Olawale, Slayman. Opposition. Have they made changes yet? Let's make sure that we have got... Day is on. Former player Day. He played like 9 minutes or something for us after coming back from loan. As we said, a draw would do us nicely. Take that to our home back. Here's Rockman, though. Rockman. Oh, Rockman. I've got a song for you and everything, Rockman. Come on, you can do things. Into the last 15 minutes. And the change that we're going to be looking at here. Reitenen's been... We need to look into Reitenen a little bit more at some point. Adam Juhi on for Ajala. We've still got one change after that. Let's just save that in case we need to shut up shop in the last few minutes. Appears to be a pulled hamstring. Olawale is injured. Oh, the season's over, lads. The season is over. Yeah, we're going with that. Oh, Olawale. Manchester United should sign him. They should. Please tell me the song you have lined up is Rock Me Amadeus. It's not. It's a St. Albans based song. We have something appropriate to wear from Shuhi. Oh, Shuhi. So RJ says combined XG of 0.7. It's like attrition. Attrition is what we're going for. Fonsell gathers the ball, plays it back to Queaton. Queaton's going on a run? No, he's not. Here's Forstrom. We keep on giving it to Queaton. Queaton is going to play it to Shambos. Shambos do something magic here. Savalainen. That's a good block once again from Guilherme Ferreira. We're really pushing in these final moments. Let's click the snooze button on the ads. Slayman with the corner. Sends it in. That's going to be claimed by Koski, unfortunately. St Albans, the Zombies, Argent enter Shikari. Yes. So Samuel Kalu. We're going Slayman back to Forstrom. Good build up here. Rockman runs into a hole, but that's okay. He's managed to get some space. Cross is blocked though. Now here's Samuel Kalu trying to get past Fonsell. Rockman plays the pass. That's better that time. Shambost slowly does it, but finally Juhi is in space. But we're going backwards again. We just love going backwards. A good save. Well, an okay save. Slayman stands over the corner. Can this one count? Slayman crosses it. Koski once again claims it. Fonsell loses the ball. That's careless. Hannanen out to Penninkangas. Penninkangas has caused us problems in the past, but he's forced backwards. Mould inside to Hannanen. Hannanen to Kalko. Kalko from distance. Raikkonen jumped up, but pulled it that way. Interesting save. Penninkangas to take the corner. Donovan. Oh no, he's from Hatfield. He is from Hatfield, but he did learn to play guitar in St Albans when he lived in Market Place with Mac McLeod. Mac McLeod, incidentally, was in the band called Hurdy-Gurdy when he was out in Sweden, and that was the person that the song Hurdy-Gurdy Man by Donovan was written about. Boring fact. Kim Wilde is from Welling, indeed. Should FM25 bring back the arrows on the formation screen, asks GTA Rob. Don't necessarily see a need for that. So, football fan, the question you're asking. So, on general performance, they are in a high percentile, but when compared to centre-backs, they are low. So, that means that any other position, they would be ranked higher, right? Yes. So, let's take, for example, something that they might be ranked high in for other positions than for centre-backs. We will do this with a midfielder. Manuel Chukwuemeka here. He, as a defensive midfielder, doesn't really get involved there. That's probably not the best example. Well, who's a player who should engage in quite a bit? So this is a good example. Matthias Ajala. Defensive midfielders tend to engage in tackles a lot more often than... No, that's a bad example. It's the other way round. So, Okereke. Defensive midfielders, for example, with Okereke, 1.69 overall. Kind of looks okay. But defensive midfielders, generally speaking, perform a lot more per 90. So when you compare it to other defensive midfielders, he's not actually that active in attempting tackles. Or winning tackles, as the case may be. So if you see something and you say, oh, that's big in general, and then you look at the position, it's small. By virtue of the position they play and the actions that they're expected to do in that position, they're not contributing much. Now, with something like tackles, for example, that can also be very, very reflective of how much possession you have. If you have a lot of the ball, you have fewer opportunities to win tackles. If you're playing as an anchor, for example, you're not actually necessarily going to be engaging in tackles, you're more going to be sweeping up the loose balls whilst the ball-winning midfielder alongside you does the tackling. So there's always context to it. Right, so that was... Oh, it's not 2 legs. It's not 2 legs? Oh, shit. I should look these things up, eh? Right, there we go. Into the extra time. I hate when teams do that in real life, going back to midfield or even sometimes to goalkeeper when in attacking possession. It's frustrating. Isabel's loves Hurdy-Gurdy Man. It's a great song. It is a great... Well, like, I mean, obviously because I'm from St Albans or spent most of my life being raised in St Albans, at least anyway. You know, I've got an extra soft spot there. Yeah, so Donovan used to live right in the town centre. Scaloo there. Okay, let's see if we can fire these guys up into the final moments. So there'll be a lot of St Albans love going on. Here's Slayman. Koski doesn't even tip it round the post. Just calm as you like. Stretch, full stretch. Great save. So Football Fan says, I've played so much online, I start to appreciate so much people that disregard the meta. I mean, yeah, nothing wrong with the meta. Nothing wrong with the meta whatsoever. But I think there's certainly fun to be had in doing things a little bit differently. Pen and Kangas sounds like an Aussie paper merchant. Does indeed. Pen and Kangoos. Who are these people, says Ladislav Almasi fan. They're classic musicians of a bygone era. So, right, gang, Beddar's calling. Kirk out. Thank you very much, Adam. Lovely to have you in. Have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. Right, there's a verse in Hurdy-Gurdy Man. Fact, David Lynch wrote a verse. Indeed. Note for later, read the rules of playoff games. Indeed. You did the equivalent of packing your bags to leave the stadium, and your assistant said, mate, the game's still going on. Indeed. We do not have penalty takers. Dylan Shambost is nervous. Right, Savu, Slayman, Wheatonen, Rockman, Reitenen, Bonsell, Reekinen in at number 7. Go with that. Now we'll go with the nervous players. We'll make sure that the nervous players are in when it's really, really nervy. Who haven't we put on there? We haven't put a Okereke on there. Stay calm. You're going to be fine. Going to be fine. Here we go. Savalainen, first up, saved. Just what we needed. Lee Heitinen can Reekinen. Reekinen was a penalty hero last season, saving like 3 penalties during the course of the regular season. It's beaten there. Slayman, he's a young lad. He's only 17. Slayman steps up straight down the line, and there we are. We're out. That's it. I think I've been in like maybe 2 penalty shootouts in FM. Calco makes it 2-0. Just one more goal could potentially be it if Queetonen can't score. Queetonen, all the pressure is on him, and Queetonen makes it 2-1. At least we have one. Pen and Kangas now. Pen and Kangas goes. Sends the keeper the wrong way. Reekinen hasn't saved a penalty since last season. He's faced quite a lot of them. Faced a lot of penalties because we gave away a lot in the first half of the season. There's Danny Rockman. Sent in the wrong way. Right, look at that. What a penalty. I mean, it's not a goal in normal time, but...
Danny Rockman goes for you. Danny Rockman goes for you. Danny Rockman goes for Mariehamn.
Sorry. So there we go. It was Argent. It was Argent indeed. Come on, Reekinen. You know how to save penalties. You're up against a man called Ala Isso. Ala Isso wins it for Gnistan. Our European dreams are over. We are bugger. Let's see what that does then. I'm furious. No, so I can sympathise. There we go. That's the way the season ends. Just as we're about to come into an ad as well. Oh no, the ads have been. The ads have been and gone. Thankfully, I think most people are subscribed, so no one missed the penalty heartache. The other game went to penalties as well. So what does this do for us? We lost 2 players to injuries. Oh, is it going to be bad? 4 weeks for Larson, 3 weeks. That's okay. They're not big injuries. Slayman backs himself again. I mean, it's going to be difficult, isn't it, to keep hold of them if you've got a team up there. Here we go. We lose to a team with less points than us, but a higher league position. There we go. Well. So Football Fan says there is a statistical order of arranging your penalty takers. It's not really statistic, but it's a method, like 2-1-4-3-5. I mean, yeah, that does help if you have like penalty takers, if you know what I mean. If you have a 5 that you know would be your penalty takers, and the idea of having players of different importance, like your best player, you don't necessarily want them to take the first penalty because you want them to be there for when there might be a little bit more pressure. Completely get that, absolutely. So I prefer Penn and Teller for the Penn and Kangas comment. Fair. Riikonen looks tiny. He's like 6'2". It's not too tiny, but yes, he does. So more time to prepare for winning the league. Indeed. Character building for Slaymar. It is. Spen Comms. Good evening. Thank you very much for the follow, my dude. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope, obviously, everything's good with you. Isabel says West Brom's tactical hero manager, Carlos Corberan, has just been bought by Valencia. Carlos Corberan's gone to Valencia? Really? How's he got that job? That's Christmas ruined. A fair comment indeed. Right, does that impact, now that the season is over, what do the board have to say? B-. Okay. B- from the supporters as well. A load of, yeah, that's not the bit I'm too worried about. Tactics there, meh. Squad, meh. Doesn't look like we're in any trouble, which is surprising. Yeah, we're down listed as secure there still. Oh, I was going to say, why is there so few jobs? But that's because we've got it filtered right now. There we go. So we'll look to be back bigger and better and various things. I think that kind of makes sense to probably call it for the evening, really, isn't it? Now that we've come to the end of the season. Hearing that activated his release clause ahead of the Madrid game. That is crazy. Yeah, I'm good, Spencer, man. I'm good. I'm a little bit disappointed. I didn't realise that we were in a single tie. I thought we were in a 2-legged playoff game for a European place. We just lost on penalties. It's been an underwhelming season, but we get to retool now. We've got a new system in place, and it's been okay. We got 3 wins and a draw out of our last 5 games. The loss was quite upsetting. A last minute free kick, 3 shots on target. Yeah, it's been all right. And then we shelved this for a few days, and we're going to be doing the World Cup challenge over the next 3 days, and then we're back on Friday where we can plan for a new fresh season, which should be cool. So Football Fan says, I hope FM25 can allow a lot of crazy stuff in skinning, because a man in your tants will go crazy. I'm afraid I won't be. Football Fan. I am retired from skinning. It is mentioned on the page. I do explain a little bit, and with the last video I did about the skin, I won't be skinning in FM25. I'm afraid. So go for Stevenage, local hero. Whole week without Mariehamn. No, Ladislav, we will be back. We will back with Mariehamn on Friday evening. We've just got 3 days of non-Mariehamn stuff that people who don't know what's going on can pick up without having to come along. And I appreciate there's also not going to be many people who would normally be checking in, who would be around during the next 3 days as well. So I'd feel a bit bad if, like, we played loads of games, we ended up in next season, and it's only been 3 days. So yeah, cool. Right, let's do the honours. I'm going to say goodbye to you guys on YouTube first, and then we're going to raid out over on Twitch here. So a huge, massive thank you for everyone who came along. It's been lovely to see. If you have enjoyed it, please do consider hitting that like button or the subscribe. Really does help. I do very much appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, all the way through till 10:30 p.m. There will be like little breaks in there. I do need to move and rest and do all that kind of things. But yeah, 10:30 a.m. something completely new, completely different for